Hello. Well, I hope it's being picked up loud and clear. Hello, every single one of you peeps. How you all doing tonight? My name is KG Prestige, and welcome everyone back to another exciting edition of the PokePod world, where me and my pals will gather around to go and talk about everything Pokemon related and other things that we wish to discuss in between. So as you guys already know, this is another week number 2. I want to take this opportunity to go and apologize for last week not having a anime edition like I normally intend to do with my pal Alpha Eevee, but if you've been following me on Twitter, you'll know that there were certain things that had to be taken care of first, and just want to clarify in regards to that, everything is looking, A-okay right now. Everything seems to be great, and only just hoping for a quick and safe recovery from my family members. So that's all I wanted to say in regards to that. I hope I sound perfectly loud, perfectly clear, perfectly all that kind of good stuff. And if so, then that means I should be good to go. And therefore, I'm going to go and hop into the call with my pals. And from there, we're going to go and talk a little bit about some things before we actually get into our topics for the night. So let me go hop on board and see if they are there. And lo and behold, they are there. How you doing, guys? Hello, Alpha Eevee. How you doing, buddy? Oh, yeah. Somebody's excited today.
Well, it's the pre-Thanksgiving mood, you would say.
Oh, yeah. Not the pre-Black Friday.
Yeah, no, it's before the Trip Detective fan freaking kicks in, so.
What up, my goons?
I'm doing okay, but for some reason I almost choked in my water right there, so that was great.
Oh my god.
Water.
Yeah,
that
water.
was the second and final episode of the Pokemon.
It was his first, and it was his
One,
last.
2, 3. Oh my god, he's dead.
Breathe, man, breathe.
No, he wanted to be the prodigy, that's all it was.
The Prodigy. Oh, God, I love that song. But how you guys doing, though, in the call tonight? Everything okay on you guys?
I'm doing
yeah,
great.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm glad to hear, man. It's been
I'm about to send our episode out today on the Twitters.
Oh man, I gotta remember to give you all the other
Tweeter
parts. I keep
mans.
forgetting to do that.
Yeah, why not? It's like, well, I spam it in whatever Discord I'm in. It's like,
Yeah.
No. I keep forgetting to give him the new episode parts that we did for Emerald is what I was referring to. Also, I just realized
I
something.
need those.
well, we aren't gonna be doing. Well, I'll tell you this right now, we ain't doing Emerald this week either.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're not. But it would be good to at least have the parts that we do have, so I can upload them.
Of course, yeah. I mean, realistically, for the folks out there, there really isn't many. I would say there's only maybe 3-4 episodes left, but it's just that the whole Sword and Shield thing has kind of distracted us.
Yeah, we originally had intended to do it earlier, but complications happened, so we had to postpone.
Well, and also, I foresee myself doing about another 3 or 4 hours of grinding because you'll see why. But
we'll
whatever.
get to that soon enough, I think. When we actually get to those episode discussions, of course. Well, and by episode discussions, I mean actually doing the finale of Emerald playthrough. But also, I just want to thank everybody so much as well for all your support on subbing here to the channel, because apparently you've given us 15 sub points, meaning we have unlocked a brand new emote slot for the tier 1 users, which is actually really cool. So we can actually put up a brand new emote slot eventually later down the road. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use at this moment, but I'll make sure to try to add one soon enough for you guys. So thank you guys for the support on that as well. Really appreciate it. And I'm probably going to try to see if I should add the Tyrone money sign one again.
The monies.
Man, I gotta add that audio eventually whenever somebody does sub, man. I keep forgetting to do that. There's just so many things I need to do, man. It's crazy.
Hey, we're getting there. It's a new series. So.
It's a new series. Things will gradually become, come and appear over time. But when it comes, we'll, of course, make sure to let you guys know. And, of course, I want to thank once again everybody for joining us here for another week. As you guys already know, my pals here in the call for tonight is Tyrone, the guy 3. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here.
We got our pal TSS as well joining in.
How you doing?
And last but not least, our Alpha Eevee also in the mix.
Hello.
And there we go.
That is all.
That is all.
That is the generic sound.
Yeah, but hey, sometimes simple is best, as from what I'm told. So
Simple is best though. It's about
It's straight to the point.
It's about it's not in
exactly.
this series.
Oh, I'm sad by that. Speaking about endings, oh god.
We're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna talk
First
about
of
that.
all, but first of all, since we don't have many topics to talk about tonight, I could talk a little bit about Black Friday since it's coming up.
Black Friday.
Yeah,
Since,
why do we do that?
That's
Yes.
African American Friday. Come on, TSS.
Oh, okay, we're going there. All right.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's the PC edition of Black Friday.
It's 2019. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that. To be honest, I've looked through some of those, some of the flyers, and honestly, aside for if you don't have like a PS4 or an Xbox One, you know, they have very cheap deals, like $200 or something like that, and some incentives. But realistically, this is one of those years where really isn't many deals. I mean, they're trying to sell.
Do you think the eShop will have a lot of good deals?
Maybe. I mean,
Nintendo
maybe they're gonna have
eShop?
some Maybe
Yeah.
they're gonna have coupons and stuff.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
they better if they're gonna do it, they better give me some more light novels or visual novel games.
I got
sales.
I got a Nintendo eShop $20 gift card for my birthday, so I was saving it for Black Friday.
Nice.
Yeah, there probably are gonna be sales.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no
That's for
reason
Let's
why
Go
Nintendo.
Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Now you can buy the other version.
You can buy the other version.
According to what I'm reading here in the chat, you gotta go work on that day, Eevee?
Unfortunately, I do.
I
Yeah.
have to work on.
No.
No, I have to work
Well-
on Black Friday as well.
But I thought you were
Well-
like behind the scenes guy though, Tyrone, for that stuff. Or are you the front and center one?
What do you mean?
Like, do you work in front of the register or do you work like behind? the
No,
scenes?
I call people. I work at a call center thing.
No, that's
Okay.
what I was asking. Like, I was thinking because I think Eevee, yours is more of the cashier or something like that.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
I do.
For Eevee. Okay, yeah,
I-
for him.
I-
Fuck.
Yeah, I do work at a Marshall, so it is a retail store. So
Yeah.
even though
Rip.
we are already a discounted store, we
I just
don't
want to
really
say I look good on that stream. Thank you, Sergi.
Hey,
Richie.
Rich.
Thank you, Sergi. I look great.
Also, I want to mention somebody in the
Okay.
chat also
You
mentioned
okay,
that.
Eevee?
You all right? No water.
No dime.
The floof got to his
But-
mouth, man. Gigantamax is not that easy, buddy.
that went down the wrong pipe.
Oh boy. So
So that's just me feeling at Gigantamax, it seems.
Damn.
I just choked to death.
So somebody
but-
in the chat mentioned that there aren't really that many Switch deals, and I agree with that because they're actually selling the same Mario Kart 8 bundle from last year at the same price as a regular Switch $299. It's not even
Why
a
is it
new
not
one.
$289 at least? Like, even
Because-
$10
No.
off would be better than shit.
Yeah, it's
And
stupid.
not even Best Buy has a lot of Switch deals.
Mm-mm.
Well, to be honest, I think that the worst deals of the year have to go to 4K TVs because they're trying to sell last year's models at the prices and the shit versions of the TV. And the biggest problem is since it's Black Friday, everybody here that actually has been in a store around Black Friday, you know how you usually see like in the electronic stores like Best Buy. They have like a shit ton of TVs just in boxes, just
TVs.
scattered around the
sir.
store. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Sir,
Nothing on
I've seen
display.
I've seen the fights, not the TVs.
Well, yeah, but I'm
They
just
use
saying-
the
I'm just
TVs
saying
for the fights, buddy.
Yeah, but the people in there, they're the sheeple that go in there. and just
Sheep
like-
looking ass.
they go in there and actually buy those televisions. They have no idea what it is. Like, oh, it's a great price, and when they come home, it's shit.
Exactly. This is why you don't buy
Yeah,
a
like,
4K
that's
TV
why
I
just
always
yet.
think of the angry video game nerd when TSS says it's shit.
Ass.
It's a piece of shit.
Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
But I would say do your research and then you go to the store and you freaking kill yourself trying.
Right.
You should
Or do what smart people do and buy it
I
from
know
Amazon.
our generation and the Gen Z generation are more or less sticking to the
Gen Z.
sticking to online shopping. I haven't seen a lot of like our
Physical.
people our age going out to go to the stores. It's mostly been people older than us.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the parents, basically. I would
Yeah, I
say.
see the
Yeah.
Shit, I still like to go to
I-
the store on that occasion.
I'd rather save my life. Thank you very much. Go.
I just wanna go and
Nah,
just
see, you
film.
gotta fight for your shit.
I just
Yeah,
blame it
don't
on
be
the
that. Don't be like the jackass at Walmart that tried to steal like the last 2 radios or some shit. What
Damn.
stupid shit.
You know,
Fucking steal. You kill yourself over a fucking lamp or whatever.
But just finishing on what I'm saying, Marshall's
ahead.
already a discounted store, so we don't
Yeah.
really have Black Friday deals. But I'm still gonna be expecting a shit ton of people that day. So wish me luck on that.
Well, yeah, because that's when
everybody
the people-
send
that's
your
when the people
love
have
for
money.
Evie. He needs it.
And yes, look, I am mostly a salesperson, but at times they do need me on the register when we have a long line. So
Yeah, get
there's
it.
that to take care of too. So there's that.
Yep. Absolutely.
But man, now speaking about the Nintendo deals, I'm honestly not that surprised that there are not any sales. I mean, literally, one of the biggest game busters just recently came out on the Switch. So it
Yeah.
would be weird to sort of put on sale something that just came out literally last week. So I think this is their intention to do it just because it'd be like, oh, well, since it's here, might as well just get it and also get the new Pokemon game that everybody's raving about for this week.
Right.
Yeah, so Nintendo always seems to be that one company that manages to pull it off, but that's because mainly they always have a holiday game release to coincide with it.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
why
In
they're
this
Yeah.
able
case,
to
it's
go away with it.
Pokemon.
That's Sword and Shield.
Pokemon style.
Well, in this case, it's Pokemon Sword and Shield, but also Luigi's Mansion because Luigi's Mansion 3 is technically a holiday game.
Yeah.
Pretty
It came
much.
out on
Mhm.
In the
Halloween,
same-
right?
Yeah, so it's
Halloween,
in the so it's in the holiday window.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Be
Yeah.
glad that Animal Crossing wasn't out this year. Otherwise,
oh
that shit
god,
would've
oh
been
god, that
alright.
would have been
Goodness, that would have
fucking-
been crazy.
people would have been in debt if that could have came out.
Remember when Smash Brothers and Pokemon came out the same day?
Yeah,
Yes,
that was
and I was
nice.
there. I was there. I was there when it launched, and it's like,
Thankfully, I was in a small town when I was going to college when that happened, so they had it stocked, and I didn't have to worry about it being a bombardment of people because it was a
Yeah.
small town. So.
Barbarian.
Barbarian.
mm,
But man, my wallet is not going to die this year.
10
I
points for
already
anyone
spent
that
too
gets the
much money.
reference.
I already
We
spent
said
too
Yeah,
much
part
and
of
you
the
know what?
reference.
Speaking of money,
No, I meant to the
and-
people in the chat.
go ahead. Go
Ah,
ahead.
yeah. Go ahead, Evie.
Yeah, speaking of money, and I know we don't have a lot to talk about today, but we did leave out something that we didn't get to talk about last
Mhm.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in regards to AnimeNYC, our
Yes.
experience.
So unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier,
Wait, you guys didn't talk about last week?
No,
Right,
because
how
we
did you
didn't
guys
have a
know anime
podcast
edition?
last week, so
Yeah, we had a lot last week.
that's why
That's
we're
why.
literally session number 2.
All right, well,
Take it away.
Yeah, let's go and have a little bit of fun
Go
with
ahead,
it. Let's
have
add
at
it
it,
here.
yeah.
We have a lot of time to kick around this year.
Mhm.
This year,
Yeah.
I will say AnimeNYC has definitely been on the tamer side. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who feels that this time around.
Well, it's my first anime convention, so
Yeah.
I mean, compared to the things that I've heard from last year, I agree with you on that.
The horror stories.
Oh, dude,
horror
Tyrone,
stories.
I will tell
Exactly.
you right
The
now, this year, I will say they definitely improved on a couple of things. Number one of the things that they vastly improved on is that they didn't have our asses outside in the cold. If you remember from last year, where it literally snowed a day or so before the actual event happened.
the ice storm.
Right.
Exactly.
That was
So
the worst ice storm in a long time.
Oh my
so
goodness.
what happened is that they, for some reason, allowed people to wait outside in the frigid weather to get into the actual building. But this year around, they actually managed to kind of tweak things up and fix it up a little bit by just having everybody huddled up in like the gate entrances, which I
Well-
don't even think that's safe. But
And
it's
not
better
only
than being
that,
outside.
and not only that, they actually allowed Thursday pickup for the first time.
yeah, that was another
That's
surprising
pretty
thing.
amazing.
Yeah, so you don't
Yeah,
have to go
and-
pick it up that day. It's similar to like what they did with Worlds. They allowed us to go and get it the day before the actual event began, if you remember that.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah. Yep, and once they opened up the convention, for those of you who went previously, you thought to yourself, oh, well, we're still going to have to wait because they're going to go through backpack checks, right? Nope. Not this year.
For some reason, the,
thankfully-
I didn't have to do all that.
the backpack check was so scary because they didn't even bother looking into your backpack. They're just like,
They
oh,
had no. They only checked weapons.
yeah.
like
and even
prop
then,
weapons.
how the hell are you supposed to check a weapon? if
I
you're
wouldn't have
not
been
even
able to
gonna check
go
your
in with
backpack?
these. I wouldn't have been able to go in with these guns. Sorry, I'm terrible. Just ignore me.
I thought you were referring to them guns of,
Them guns.
the muscles of Washington, but yeah, this year the people who were supposed to take care of us was just like letting everybody go through, and I'm like, isn't there supposed to be a little more safetyness roaming around here?
Mhm.
No, okay, never mind, just Throw our asses in and let us do the
Well,
work.
Yeah, so in exchange for safety, they decided to make things a lot more faster and a lot more organized.
I will
as
say I
Thanos
am
would
glad
say,
though.
Yeah, they first of all,
as Thanos would say, a soul for a soul.
well,
So-
first of all, they actually put markers inside the convention hall, saying which aisles are there.
That's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, like for example, Artist
It was
Alley.
fucking chaos last year.
Yeah, Artist Alley especially, since they took pretty much the whole bottom floor,
Yeah.
or the whole second floor, which was the both halves.
Right.
They were able to divide the Artist Alley between aisles A through X, and they finally had labeled them, and I'm really glad for that. And also they have like I said, you'll have in the middle of each aisle, you will have the number of row. So you say, let's say you're in row 1300, you can actually use that as a point of reference. Unlike last year, it's like, oh, it's by the Sentai. Wait, what the fuck? Where is
what the
that?
fuck does that mean, though?
What does
Yeah.
that mean?
I'm
It's
between
in-
Sentai's and Crunchyroll. Where is that shit? Look in your maps.
You're-
We
you're
have
at
no
soup.
maps.
You're at soup.
I'm at soup.
What do you mean you're at soup?
I'm at soup.
That's exactly what. See, that would have happened last year, but not this year, thankfully, because of more organization when it came to
Why are
the
you
con
looking
floor.
for clothes at soup? Fuck you.
Exactly what it is.
I will say though, Tyrone, I think you would have loved it this year in regards to one thing, and that was that and TS has mentioned this, they actually opened up the entire main floor. It wasn't divided in half like it was the past 2 years. The entire
Yeah, that was
floor,
so frustrating. Most of it was just us waiting in line for like
yeah,
what,
and then you had to go
almost
through
2 hours?
twice. You had to go through
Yeah,
twice for
it
the
was
for
so
yeah.
I didn't have to do
irritating.
that.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing: if you had to go to the Artist Alley like the last couple of years, you had to go upstairs and you had to get another check.
Yeah. So
Right.
With it being all encompassed in one area, you only had to do the check once.
exactly.
Yeah, that's why I had to do
And it
yeah.
was seamless too, because like the first thing I did, and I was so glad I ended up on the right side, because I believe that was where Psy Games actually opened their store, and that was the first thing I dipped into, and I was very happy with that. And I will say it's so nice seeing everything so organized, like because it's such a bigger space. And this is especially noticeable with the Artist Alley. It's easier to walk through these events, these
Right.
and it's so great because like I can finally see what I'm looking at and see where I'm gonna be walking to next, and look at all this left and right. It's really spacious this time around, and it benefits for it. So I think this year they managed to do a great job in really taking up the room that they have and making complete use of it. And it's crazy because like even now just thinking about it, I feel like I didn't even touch everything that this year had to offer because
No.
of just how big it is. Like 3 days is definitely not enough, but it definitely was still a fun one nonetheless. And being able to meet some peeps and just hang out and just go and explore the Artist Alley and even some of the side events as well, it was a really fun time.
Yeah, so I ran into Hermstar about the last day.
Yeah,
and
when I had to head out with Evie for that one.
yeah, it was, and it was really cool because he was actually walking horizontally. I was walking vertically, and I just stopped and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And then I was like, "Well, I don't know where KG is. He probably went home or something."
Nah, because this year I was exhausted, man. Like I was so tired.
The merch was okay. It's just that I didn't get a lot of commercial merch. I only got like a couple of posters.
Yeah, this year I
and,
got more artist merch, if anything, really.
Yeah, the artist stuff was a lot more desirable, honestly.
Yeah, and you know what? I wasn't intending to buy anything from the Artist Alley because I don't really have a lot of interest in like buying things that are fan made. But I will admit, there were a lot of really good merchandise and fan art that some of these artists were selling. Especially one booth in particular, KG. I think you might know which one.
If you have a picture of it with you, so I can show it to
do.
Oh my god, there were these two images in particular that me and Evie saw, and when we saw it, I was hesitating on this because I was legitimately gonna buy those mega sized posters. Like I'm talking about the ones that like fill up a wall. Like that
Oh,
level
God.
of big.
I know what you're talking about.
And I was looking at that shit and I'm like, oh my god, that would have been awesome to get. And it's like 2 for $100. And I think that was a really fantastic deal, especially when you look at the insane level of detail in regards to it. Oh my god. You actually put
And I'm sending the other one.
Okay, hold on. I'll just show this one. Hold on.
Alright.
But yeah, so we saw this and we were just like, "Ooh boy, I need this in my life." Hold on, let me just try to make sure I got this correct on here. Hold on a second.
Prepare the brain bleach.
Yeah, prepare.
Yeah, and fortunately for me, I was able to buy both of them, and they were actually the last ones, if I recall correctly.
Were they now?
Well,
So you
man,
got
these-
really lucky then with that part.
I did. And man, I mean, see, they're really good, but we wanted to buy it for all the wrong reasons.
Oh hell yeah! None of us wanted to buy that shit for the right reason, man. We all know that.
And you know, up to this day, I still don't know where to actually hang them around my room because my parents are going to walk in and see that and you're like what is that? What are you doing?
90-degree flip. Let's go.
Which one? Counterwise or counterwise? I forgot which one.
Clockwise.
Right.
Clockwise. Okay, there we go. Oof.
Oh my god.
That shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This one right here. This shit Evie found. I was so happy with it because I was like, oh my god, I need this in my life. And I'm so mad. I'm so mad I didn't get this. But it doesn't even stop there because there was another one that was just as stupid as this one that I just love so much. Hold on, let me just make sure I can get that shit. Hold on. Here we go. I'm gonna post this right now. There we go. The fucking war.
You posted in the reference
Oh
channel.
my
God damn
god. Ah, I'll never sleep again.
it. Wait, Tyrone sleeps?
What have you
Oh yeah,
done?
Tyrone sleeps.
Everybody sleeps except me now.
Yeah, except
Now.
you, apparently.
Dude, I was gonna buy that shit. I was
What
gonna
have you
have that.
done?
That shit would have been my background whenever I
Why?
stream.
You can't show it on Twitch because TOS.
No, that's fine because they're
Wait, we
clean. Yeah, they're clean. They're good
Alright,
boys.
go for it.
No, it showed
We
it.
already did.
Yeah, it's already. They already showed it.
No, but I'm saying in
Oh,
future
okay,
streams,
okay. I didn't even
had
look at
I
the stream.
had I bought those, I would have had those in my streams every single goddamn day. Man.
Oh my
Every
god.
day, like people
God
would have
bless
been.
Evie then.
Yeah, Evie got him. He got the goods. He's good. He got them.
Man,
I'm surprised he
see-
got them.
Yeah, but there's another one. Yeah, but there's another one that Evie got. You know, he's very proud of.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Which I don't think I took a photo of that, but I will. Probably during the stream. But yeah, it's a really adorable and menacing looking fan art of Evie that I also picked up. Jesus, you know, KJ, I kind of felt bad that I actually didn't give at least one of them to you.
Ah, no, that's perfectly fine, buddy. I'm glad that the only thing I just care about is that everybody had a good time this year. Now, that
I was
made
say,
me
sounds
happy
like
to
you
see.
guys had a lot of fun.
This is also the first year
I mean-
I've ever gone to the halls, to like the little special panels that they had. I actually went to Rie Kugamiya's panel this time around because I was waiting for the Weathering with You film to actually release, and I got there super early. I'm talking about like maybe 10 o'clock. I got there really early just to make sure I could wait in line, and it wasn't even an official line. It was like the pre-line to the
The
real
pre-line
line.
to the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first time I ever gone to one of those panels, and I believe that was her first time she ever actually made an appearance here in the US, or specifically in NYC. So that was really nice, and she really was a very loving person from what you could see from her interview, man. She was great. My favorite bit had to be when she did a live dubbing of one of the scenes from Toradora, if you ever remember that anime.
Yes.
She did. I think she does the voice of Taiga, if I recall correctly. I
Yeah.
think that's her name. And she did one of the scenes from episode 24 when they were at the bridge. And it was so incredible just how she was able to quickly get into character just right away and just really showcases the insane amount of effort a voice actor or an actress has to do to really capture the scenes that they are, portraying with these characters.
I'm still happy that I went to the Madoka Magica thing, which was with Aoi
That's
Yuki. Aoyuki, you know, seeing her in person, really cool.
Yeah.
Even though I'm really not into Madoka. But it is still weird that we got to watch the first 2 episodes of the spin-off series, even including the second episode, which hasn't even been released. I mean, hasn't even been shown in Japan yet at the time. So it's really cool to think that, you know, I was able to actually see Aoyuki in person, and that makes it. I think that makes my year. Yes.
Yeah, so
Flip it.
Oh my
I did it
god.
wrong. Damn it. There you
Oh
go.
my god. Yeah.
No,
there we
flip
go.
it again.
Better.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
so-
that worked.
Yay.
And also
So
that bottom one too, I believe as well.
I'll
right?
never sleep again.
Yes. So if it weren't for TSS, I honestly wouldn't have caught that, because that's something that I will probably place in my room, as you can see here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course the coin figure is another thing I bought, only because you know, it's my first ever convention. I was told that if I'm going to be spending at a convention, I need to carry some bag of sorts, right? So that's where the coin figure comes in, because they with it they actually gave me a huge ass orange bag for me to carry with me.
And
Yeah,
we're like,
obviously-
it's like the smallest box ever and the biggest ass bag, and I'm like, God, Lord Almighty. And it was so hilarious just seeing him carry that shit throughout the entire convention, because I'm like, I swear to God, he has to fill that up at some point. No, it's just a figure. Oh, and the 2 posters, of course.
56 people.
Yeah,
Hi
thank
there.
you guys
Thank
so
you.
much. But yeah, of course, that was perfect to hide the posters, because I'm pretty confident you didn't want nobody to see that shit when you were on the subway or anything like that. That shit should be kept hidden in secret.
You know, there was this one time where me, Red Dragon Emperor, and you, KG, went to go eat at a Popeyes, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Y'all get
And-
your sandwich.
Hell yeah.
We got
Nice.
a sandwich, of course. Well, why else would we visit a Popeyes chicken? Popeyes
Exactly.
chicken.
Not for the chicken,
No.
but the chicken.
Yeah,
Chicken sandwich.
yeah, and
I actually had to do
Well,
that.
how bad was the line?
There was no real line there.
What the
No.
fuck?
No,
Nope.
listen, the chicken craze has kind of dwindled down.
Oh,
this
it's
time.
died down. At this
Well,
point.
So Tyrone, you can go get it now.
also the location that they're talking about is on 40th Street. It's right across from
The terminal.
Port Authority.
Ah, okay.
And as far as I know, because I went there the day after they did,
Mhm.
they had a limit of 2 sandwiches per
Indeed.
customer,
Yeah,
which is really
same
good.
here.
That's
Mhm.
really good. That's absolutely how they should manage it. 2 per person,
Oh yeah.
and that's it.
And it was
Yeah,
great,
so-
though. I'm glad, though.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I still enjoyed the sandwich. It's just that, you know, I'm glad that they made it a permanent item, so that if, you know, somebody wants to have a sandwich, they can go ahead and have a sandwich, because it's well worth
Oh
it.
yeah. And thankfully, you don't have to wait as long anymore.
Oh yeah, I remember the first day that they announced it came back, I had to wait like 40 something minutes. So
Yeah, I had it with like an hour 15 for me.
yeah, so
Yeah, but
but anyway, so
yeah. So you know, when
Oh, yeah.
we were,
and we have
Go
to
ahead.
talk about Saturday night, because Saturday night
Saturday
it-
night.
it's all right for fighting. No, but Saturday night, since Evie was going home the next morning.
actually, let me finish up my story
Yeah,
here. if you
go
don't
ahead.
mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
go ahead.
All right, so you know, KJ, you were talking about you know, no one being able to see my poster, right? You know, we were eating a Popeyes chicken sandwich in downtown, and you know, we just so happened to grab a seat or a table that was right next to the window, and I just happened to place my bag directly in front of the window, and the bag was left open. What I didn't knew was that the poster was leaning on one side of the bag, and you could basically see it from the window.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, like, oh shit, my poster was facing the window. Like, I wonder how many people actually saw the Wario poster walking by, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, be glad it wasn't the big ass poster. Be glad it was that puny one, man. I'm glad
Yeah.
for that.
It should have been mega size, just one of those big like giant. Like you can't carry it in conventional means. You have to like
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually have to keep it open the whole time.
you have to shamelessly carry it above everybody. It's making that big poster noise.
Yeah.
Oh no! And also it was double sided, so no matter what, you still
Right,
had to.
no, you can't even
Yeah.
cover it up.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Megazord, you missed
Damn,
it.
Tyrone.
If
What?
you want to rewatch the stream later on, and to find out what the Wario poster was about,
I could
You
probably
could do
post it
that
again
after
if
the
you want me to. Then go get it for them.
yeah, go ahead for the people who missed the stream. But
Okay,
go
okay,
ahead,
everybody
Saturday
get the
night.
blame breed. Blah, blah, shit, blah, 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 blah.
Oh shit!
Brain
It's already
freeze
activating
again?
on pork.
Yeah, sorry, that's what happens. See, that's what happens when water interacts with the brain.
Ah shit! It went upside down. That looks even worse upside down.
Oh,
Wow.
180.
180.
wow.
Yeah, wow. But there you go. That's the Wario image we were talking about.
Wow, Luigi.
And Wario. Now there we go. So there you go, buddy. I'm glad I have tainted your eyes with the bless of fucking Wario and Waluigi image. Man, this year around, since we're talking about purchases, one of the purchases I've done a lot this time around had to go to the acrylic stands. I already organized my shelf and completely updated it now, and I want to say I have now maybe with me 23 to 24 different acrylic stands total from all the years I've purchased acrylic stands throughout the AnimeNYC events. This year was a little bit on the weaker side when it comes to like variety, because I only got myself like maybe 2 different genres. One based on the popular gacha game that I'm pretty confident a lot of people know regarding waifu boats, Azure Lane. I actually play that game a lot. And I got a couple of them for Prince Jin, Belfast, Otago, Akagi, Kaga, Unicorn, to name a few. And then, of course, my biggest ones that I got in particular are the ones I love the most, the Xenoblade acrylic stands. Those are amazing. I've actually shown you guys this on my Twitter in regards to these images, and I'll probably post it here if you guys would like to see it if you haven't actually checked it out. Basically, this one person, artist I should say, under the name of Rainart, made these amazing acrylic stands. I'm talking about, like, there are these 2 in particular that are like regular sized, and then there are these big ones that are like the size of a limited edition, game release kind of bundle. And I'll probably show it real quick when
Red Dragon wants to tell you tell the story
Tell the
of
story.
the VR.
Oh, my name Brady. Sorry.
Here we go. I found the image that I was looking for here. Let me go and grab it right now while I'm at it. So,
right.
Jesus Christ, it's small for some reason. There we go.
Jesus Christ.
Cheese and crackers.
Jesus Christ.
Jason
Jesus
Chris.
was right.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
What is this
Jesus
Spice and Wolf VR?
Okay. Who wants to tell the story?
Hold on.
Well,
Let me just get the image real quick for the Xenoblade thing that I was talking about. There we go. So, as you can see right there in that image that I have, the regular size one is
Damn,
based
I meant,
off
yeah, that's a
Numa,
nice pic.
based off
I think
Numa.
of beauty.
And then the other one, the really big one, is of course of Pyra. Now the thing is, what I'm not showing here is that there is another one that I have of the Xenoblade character being of Mithra. However, she was a pre-order that I got that will be coming in December, so next month. And I'm very excited for that because now I can have these 2 beautiful acrylic stands. I love acrylic stands. I'm a really, really big fan of them. So to have like these 2
I'm
big
a really big
sized
fan
ones-
of this one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
dude.
Sorry.
But
I wonder
dude,
why.
yeah, I wonder why. But buddy, man, these look great. I love them all, and I can't wait to just have them nicely detailed right here on my shelf later down the road. Here's a better. I'll actually get a better image here that shows a little bit more of the designs I got here. So there we go. So as the person Rainarts did the design for Cosmos, as you see there, the acrylic stand, Numa from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, as well as the Pyro one that you see over there to the right. So yeah, I'm gonna get the Mithra one soon, and seeing the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 limited edition box right there, you could already tell just how big this acrylic stand really is, and should give you an idea of just how nice it looks overall. So very excited for the other one. I'll update the pic later when I get the Mithra one so I can show it to you guys, but man, it made me happy. That was probably my favorite purchase. I think I spent like $200 for these acrylic stands. Well worth the money, man. Absolutely. And you can also pre-order them, I believe, on Rainart's official website, or you can even follow them on Twitter as well. I believe the username went under the name of Rainart's PR, I think it was. Let me just make sure on that real quick, because of course it's always important to support the official release. But yeah, I believe it was Rainart's
support the official release.
Indeed. So yeah, I'm just very happy with these purchases, man. I couldn't be happier. And I wish I could have shown off the images with the Azure Lane characters, but I don't have them with me at the moment, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so there you go. That's pretty much my whole thing I got. And other acrylic. Yeah, I think this year was just mainly acrylic stands. I didn't really buy posters or anything of that sort. So.
And then Saturday night after KG had to leave early, me, Evie, and Red Emperor Dragon, we went to freaking Joe's Pizza, the original one on Carmine Street. Because I was just thinking, okay, we came out of the Crunchyroll panel, which was a decent panel, but I was hoping for the 0.7%, but that shit didn't happen because Crunchyroll likes to disappoint people.
Fuck you.
Yeah, but it did have. Well, hey, at least we got freaking like Crunchyroll wristbands and shit. That's fine.
Yay.
Yes, that's okay. Yes. So we had that, and then we went to Joe's Pizza, and I decided, okay, since it was Evie's last night in the city, I decided, okay, I'm gonna buy the three of us a pie because it's like $22.
Right.
So I had to wait like outside in the cold for like 10 minutes, but the place was jumping. I mean, it's like crazy, like very small, tiny hole in the wall place, but there was a lot of people online getting pizza, and we wanted to just go to the original Joe's Pizza because it's freaking I do love if you go to the original Joe's Pizza Google Maps page. Some guy actually puts the question, does Superman still works there? And it answers, pizza time.
Pizza time.
Holy shit, dude.
I'm not paying for those.
But you can really tell that there's a difference when you have like a fresh pie out the oven because that was freaking amazing, man. Ever come to the city?
Take me there, man. I don't even know where the hell this is. I think I'm the last person on this guy.
It's on Carmine Street. You get off West 4th, and you get off West 4th Street, and it's around the corner.
I'll have to give that a shot eventually, man.
Yeah, of course it's up by the slice, but to have a whole pie just done, that was.
Then and there, yeah, that sounds great.
That was bomb.
That was really cool, and there is a difference between that one and the Times Square one.
Really, what's the difference though?
The water taste, really.
Okay.
Because you have like the older pipes and stuff, but quality's really freaking good, and that's what it is. So
nice.
And sorry, and you know what? I do have to give a very huge shout out to TSS Killer because he actually took his time off on Thursday. Well, kind of, but but he was very generous enough to show me around New York City because it's my first time in the city and just my first time in the East Coast in general. So TSS was able to take the time to show me around New York, some of the landmarks as well.
It's really nice.
How about the M&M store?
TSS hell no.
I know, that's the point.
Yeah.
It
was really nice though. Like when I went too, it was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think it was even beautiful because of the snow weather too. In all honesty.
Yeah.
But I actually had a great time in New York. Not just because of the experience, but because I had a good pal of mine who I've known for some years now. Was finally able to meet him in person finally, and I think just made the experience just 3 times better. So if you guys ever want to stop by New York, just want to familiarize yourself with the place a bit. TSS is the New Yorker. to
The New York
to go to. Yeah.
Indeed.
Thank you.
I may be in New York, but I sure as hell don't know my place. I'm like Zoro from One Piece.
I mean, you took us to
Where am I?
Madison Square. That was fun.
Yeah, after getting lost for half an hour.
After we walked for like.
Hey, listen, man, that was actually, I think we did the same fucking walk last this year as well, going to Nintendo New
really?
York. Yeah, except we went on a different route this time around. Because I think what we did was we went to go eat at the ramen place, and immediately after I told TSS I wanted to go to Nintendo New York to get my copy of Sword and Shield, you know.
Right.
So we did that, and we ended up doing the same walking method that we did last year, except in a completely different route compared to what we had to go through then. So,
Right.
Yeah.
but it was still, you know, nice nonetheless, and you know, just walking there, being able to chit chat with everybody, and you know.
Oh yeah, it
have a
was
good
it was
time.
Yeah, it was great to also meet you in person, KG.
Hell yeah, and it was even better when the first day we met each other. The first thing we did, movie night. We went to go and watch Konosuba.
Nice.
Yeah, the film that just dropped out of complete friggin' nowhere. The day before AnimeNYC, we decided to take this opportunity to go and watch the film. And man, that film had us just laughing.
I'm
the
so
entire
upset
way.
because I want to see it, but I'm probably gonna have to wait till like 2040.
Man, we wish you were there, Tyrone, because the movie was actually really that good.
I'm sure it was.
hilarious.
And Konosuba's already a really good fucking show. So.
Oh man, I wish I could talk about it with you, but I know spoilers
Yeah,
ahoy.
yeah,
but I'm not
spoilers,
gonna. Listen, man, I'm just
Don't.
gonna tell you right now. This is a one-of-a-kind film. I've never seen a film to this level of extent before, man. And this is after I already went to watch Wedding with You. This is on a completely different scale. It's incredible. But I'm gonna say right now, I think they really did a great job in capturing Konosuba. Instead, now this time around on a theatrical release compared to how it was with episodics.
Oh yeah, and I believe it was who was the company that helped them with that directed the movie or produced the movie rather?
JC Staff.
Wasn't it? JC Staff. There we go. We were kind of a bit skeptical about how this movie would turn out, knowing their recent history with their handling of anime shows, but they proved us wrong, and I'm glad.
Indeed, I am very glad. But yeah, so if you're gonna look forward to that film, high recommendation. Same also applies if we're talking about films right now to Wedding with You, because I also mentioned before I actually got the opportunity to go and see the film in AnimeNYC 2 months before it actually releases here in the West, and I will say before I get to the movie discussion, two things. One, they were not really good with handling the level of the line. Because I posted a picture of this and even a video a while ago on Twitter. It was horrible, man. Like, they made people, like, into, like, this ball right here that you had no idea how to move around. You were completely crushed there. And you had to be lucky to be out of that circle just to even get a chance to move your arms and legs, man. I was fortunate enough to be in a particular spot that the person decided to open the line for us. And because of that, I was like maybe like the first 20 people to get on the line to go and see the film. So I was really happy with that. But it also came at a cost of like them being very disorganized in regards to how they were going to handle giving people the opportunity to go inside to watch a film, because it's like, I think it's a maximum of 2,000 seats. And unfortunately,
there was something else about the staffing I kind of wanted to talk about, but I'll let you finish.
Yeah, I think I know what you're going to refer to now. We'll get to
that incident.
Yeah, so they didn't do a really good job in keeping count as to how many people were in there, because I believe TSS, you mentioned you waited in line, but you were like
I waited
200?
in line, and I waited in line. The lady that said that the line was cut off was behind me. But then all of a sudden it said, "Oh, disperse," and it was like I was probably like 100 people or 200 people behind, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Damn, that does suck.
Yeah,
because they didn't know how many people were in the line. It's like, don't you fucking count?
Right.
It's like this is Sesame Street levels of shit here, and you don't know how to fucking count. Go back to
I
school.
never thought I would hear the sentence "Sesame Street levels of shit." So for that, I thank you, TSS.
You're welcome.
I don't think you understand. We need to say the alphabet. This is Sesame Street levels of shit we're going through right now.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I feel not much is lost for me because technically I already seen the movie already, but I would have liked to see it again before.
I mean, it's
January.
just though, like, even if it's a movie you already seen, you don't want your experience to be fucked up. Like, that's always bad, no matter what situation.
Yeah. I mean, I could blame myself because because I decided to like stay up and watch freaking PM 2019 and do all this shit, and then it was like, oh, I had no energy for a good amount of hours, and then I couldn't leave my house. So I blame myself partially, but it was worth a shot anyway. So
Right.
I have no regrets for trying.
Mm-hmm.
So I just decided I'm just gonna have Popeye's chicken sandwich and go the fuck home.
Right.
As any New Yorker would do at that point. Yeah. Just go the fuck home.
Right.
So let's talk about that one incident, I guess.
Rich?
We gotta talk about it.
Yeah, that incident. So basically, I forgot to. Again, I'm someone that's not really into anime, but maybe KG can get you up to speed into like what type of showing it is. But here's what I'll say: they completely mishandled the ADA viewing. Like basically, there's like a specific area where if you're ADA, you can go there and get a better experience and a better chance to see the event. I actually knew a couple of people that were at the event, and they themselves said that the staffing in general for that event was completely garbage. But anyways, the problem with the ADA, well, the people in the ADA section, the ones that talked about on Twitter, was that they could barely see. Like they could barely see the stage, and they could barely see the performers, and they were very upset because they've been waiting for a while for the event, and they loved the people up there. So they to the staff and were complaining. It was like, hey, we're in the ADA section. This is fucking bullshit. We're not able to see the performers, and we're not having a good viewing experience from the section. We want it to be done. Unfortunately, the staff members were completely, what's the word?
Arrogant.
Ignorant. They just didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't do anything about it. As a matter of fact, they made the problem worse than solve it. Like basically make it better. They did the opposite of making a problem better. I mean, make the problem problem
they
better.
fucked it up more.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So just to quickly summarize, basically, the ADA staff, because I think that's what it was, although the general staff, from what I mentioned before, it was pretty bad. They were very rude, they were unprofessional, and they were just being pieces of shit, because I don't understand how it's that hard for you guys to just make certain people that don't have certain people in a certain group not have a good time in that section. Like, I don't understand what's hard about that. You're hired for a reason, to do your job. And these people just did not do their job.
Fucking job.
It's just unfortunate. Now I'm pretty sure KJ knows the exact event, the exact event I'm talking about, because I don't. I just remembered the fact that the staff was just really bad.
What was it called again? Guilty Kiss, I think it was called.
Yes, Guilty Kiss. Guilty Kiss. Yes.
There was a woman who, I believe it wasn't actually the woman herself, but a friend of the lady. She tweeted on Twitter talking about the situation in full detail, saying that she needed to. She was of course on wheelchair, so she was of course in a specific area to get a better viewing for her. And then there came a point where the entire crowd got up to go and start, dancing to Guilty Kiss. And you think that's perfectly A-okay until you realize that the people in the back that are in this situation are unable to go and watch, because now all these people who are standing up are unfortunately blocking their view of the performance. And what made the situation worse is Richie pointed out beforehand was that there was supposed to be a little bit more care about this from the staff, but the staff didn't.
They didn't
even
give a fuck.
Yeah.
Now-
Instead, they actually made fun of the situation to the point that what happened, and this is the scary part for me, and what really made me sad. The two friends who were with her had to physically pick her up. So that way she could be up and watch the performance like that. But of course, if you know how these sort of situations are, it is not safe and it is extremely dangerous. And she ended up crying at the end of it all because she didn't really get a good experience out of it.
Yeah, and not to mention that, it's like, who the fuck? Okay, that's a fail in planning. If the venue is not sloped, then you should have the ADA compliant people in the front. Where if somebody were to stand up, at least they wouldn't be obstructing their view.
Indeed.
And that's what it is. Now, go ahead.
I was going to say, just to follow up, I think this is only specifically on the Guilty Kiss event because during the Weathering With You premiere that I went to see, they actually got the people that were, of course, in disabilities to be the ones to go first. And they were able to get the front seats. So I was behind a lady who was in a wheelchair alongside with her husband. And that was, really nice to see that they were, of course, at the very front. And therefore, they deserve it because they don't want to get interrupted by anybody else. And I think that was really special and nice. I feel like this, unfortunately, should have been something that needed to have been there for the Guilty Kiss event, Like, where was that in the last panel? Like,
that sad for that event was terrible.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they did a pretty good job overall with the convention. It's just that, of course, I don't think they fully executed their way of taking care of these 88 people.
It sounds like to me they weren't consistent.
No, that's the thing. Because, another thing is you got to remember, every day is not always going to be the same staff. There will be more staff members who will, of course, be there for you. But not every staff member is unfortunately going to be there. And the thing is, you know how it is. When one affects everything, everybody gets hurt by it. And that's sadly the situation that we ended up ourselves in. And I hope that this is something that doesn't end up getting replicated again for the future. Because there are genuinely good staff members. Just want to keep that in mind. It's just the bad ones were unfortunately the ones that were the main topic and therefore the ones that got the most attention. But TSS, I think you wanted to bring up something?
So actually, I wanted to since we only have about an hour and 50 minutes hour and 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we're gonna be
actually I want to get into the Pokemon stuff, but I actually want to get started with one point that somebody actually made in here, and that is regarding movie 22. Now,
we're still on that?
Because there's no dub.
There's no dub. And the thing is, so Kevin C, we know him well. He's our man for the voice acting crap and stuff like that, and we love him.
Taking the risks on watching the dubs and everything.
Yes, exactly.
Somebody's got to take the fall.
He's watching it so we don't have to.
He's watching it so that we don't have to deal with the freaking the Batman theme.
Hello, I'm the dub watcher. I watch it so you don't have to.
But he has a theory that I think is really a great theory, and I want to talk about that this evening.
Go for it.
So, this evening he's thinking that he told us tonight on the PM Discord that he thinks that the whole script writing limbo for Shudo, the guy who originally wrote the movie 1 script, is probably the reason why that the dub doesn't have the dub isn't released yet or doesn't have an announcement yet. Maybe there's some problems with negotiations, especially since TPCI is most likely going to translate the script verbatim as opposed to using the 4Kids script. So probably that's one of the roadblocks that they are having at the moment. I'm pretty sure everything is recorded, but maybe there's a rights issue going on here.
Yeah, like they have everything prepared. Now they're just waiting to get the official approval from them to go further. From
Shudo's estate.
Indeed. I heard it was already complicated enough for the main folks over in Japan, because that was why it took so long for them to even get to this point for a movie like this to get released.
Right.
So imagine if it was hard for them in Japan. Imagine how hard it must have been
a lot
for
worse
those
for
out
us.
of states.
Right.
So I think this is going to come to that situation where I feel like, okay, they have everything, but it's gonna be a long time till we even get any announcement in regards to what's gonna go further with that. And maybe they might just do something that completely throws the wall out of our expectations and be like, okay, if we can't release the dub right now, here, have the sub instead that we've released in the Anime Expo panel from last year.
Well, I mean, I guess it goes without saying that obviously, of course, I did hear about the whole Shudo Estate thing. The first time I even was aware about it during the July screening in AnimeNYC, Anime Expo, excuse me. And it makes sense now that I think about it again because remember, I really had no idea why they went with the M16 Mewtwo the way that it was. But after hearing about it, and obviously, of course, to see if the information was verified, which thankfully it was, it made sense. It makes sense now because it's from his estate. Maybe they just didn't want his Mewtwo to be part of the movie. So they're like, all right, well, fuck it. We're going to have to make a female Mewtwo. Just make it different. Right. But on a small note, I think me and TSS are the only two that have pre-ordered the M22 Japanese Blu-ray, correct?
Also Filippo, but from us here.
Oh, Filippo, yes.
Yeah, Filippo, yeah.
Right. Filippo. I'll be watching the movie, in its full glory. So I can't wait for that when it comes in December.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it again since I had a great experience in August. So.
Nice. I'm gonna have to figure out when I can get my hands on the film because it's so weird that now I have to, like for a movie anyway. This is the first time I think I'm ever gonna be seeing it like before it actually releases here in the West.
I'm not in a giant hurry to watch it, but if I do watch it, I know it's gonna have to
we'll probably make you watch it.
Yeah.
I would say I know it's gonna have
to be a cool movie watch though.
Yeah, I would say I know I'm probably gonna wind up watching it in its Japanese with subs. And it's probably going to be illegal.
Well, I mean, officially we got TSS and Richie to support the release, so that's always good right there.
Yeah, support the official release. But
I didn't do it this year because it's like, well, I already have other things I have to take care of first. I'll probably get it later down the road. And also, like you mentioned, Tyrone, it's not exactly a film I'm in any rush for anyway.
Right.
So,
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying, like, at this point, the movie's been out, the movie was out in Japan for like months now, and it's the plot the movie won, so I can wait. But I do feel that that's a little upsetting, though, to know that we, regardless of how bad the dub can sometimes get, we're not getting a dub version immediately. So
no. But we'll probably get our answers
live and let live, I guess.
Indeed. Speaking about movies, though, I guess it's actually, Evie, if you wanted to go up first, I'll then say my thing later.
All right. Sorry. One last thing. I bought it. TSS bought it, and I know you bought it recently, KG. But I gotta say, I really like the what do you call it? This paper folder that came along with the magazine that we buy at
AnimeNYC. Was it?
Yeah, AnimeNYC. There you go.
AnimeNYC,
yeah. So just to let everybody know in the chat real quick, AnimeNYC is basically a magazine for pretty much anime. It's literally covering anime media in general. And for the first time in 22 years from what I've been told, the Pokemon anime series is on the front cover. And it is such a big deal for Anime-Poke fans because this is something that hasn't happened in decades now. So to see the Pokemon franchise be on the front cover of a very well-known magazine over in Japan was such a very monumental moment. And it didn't even stop there. I mean, we had this amazing poster to come included with it of Ash and Go from the recent Pocket Monsters TV series, as well as a clear file from one of the images that we had for Ash, Go, and them looking above towards the Pokemon Ho-Oh. So we got a lot of goodies out of that magazine. It also highlights a couple of other things as well, such as the After the Rain interview and some other things in between. And it's nice to see all of that, of course, right then and there. And I am very happy with that purchase, man. That was a really nice purchase in my book.
Yeah, me and TSS were fortunate enough to even, buy it on stock the day when I actually arrived at New York. Because I think they were just recently there. And KG.
Yeah, well, what usually happens is when Kinokuniya gets the stock, they have to price it and they put it out. They usually put it out in the afternoon. So we got there at a point probably when it was on display no more than like maybe 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got there when there was only 2 issues left there.
Yeah.
Yo, luck ass.
Yeah, I got lucky with that one. I was like, damn it. Like, had I missed that, I would have been sad. But I'm glad I got my hand on it, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, so there's that. Overall, I think we'll probably learn more information regarding the movie as well moving forward. And also, since this was something I was going to bring up, next month is December. So we're going to get our teaser to the next film, aren't we?
Yay.
Which I'm assuming is probably going to be the same, or maybe it's not going to be the same. It's probably going to be something similar to what they did with the Pokemon Everyone's Story premiere or teaser trailer, where it's like Ash in this new artistic style and just Lugia flying by, and you see this one design of a girl, but she's not shown off fully. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do this year around, and I'm excited for it. So with that being said, though...
Oh, no, just kidding.
Hey, listen, man, we need more Ho-Oh love. It never actually got a movie, if you think about it.
Right.
Yeah, so...
We don't count M20 because that... no.
Yeah,
I mean, it's about as much as a Ho-Oh movie as a Lucario
It's a
Mystery
Marshadow
Should be
movie,
treated
if
wrong.
anything.
It was about as much of a Ho-Oh movie as Lucario Mystery as a Mew movie.
No, listen,
Yeah.
it was a Marshadow movie more than an actual Ho-Oh movie. If anything, it was an Ash and Pikachu movie more than a Marshadow or a Ho-Oh movie. Which
Yeah,
is
pretty
weird.
much.
Movie 20 was not bad.
It's just,
No,
it
wasn't bad, it
definitely
was
didn't
just
need
a
some
mess.
things. Yeah. There were certain things in that goddamn film that did
It was a-
not
it
need
was
to
a
be there.
nostalgic
You want a
mess.
bad movie? Deoxys and Hoopa. That's bad movies.
Now, Hoopa.
I get Hoopa, but wow.
Now, listen, man. Hoopa is that kind of bad.
I'm talking about
like
Deoxys.
it's a
What
good
the fuck?
movie to watch when you're drinking with buddies. Is basically what I'm getting.
Deoxys was 20 minutes too long because they didn't have a short, and also Lovely Boy.
Oh, God.
Oh
I
yeah,
remember
okay.
that.
Now I understand. Yes, this is a complaint. But with that being said, though, now that we got all of the topics we wanted to get
Let's
out
talk
of the
about
way,
Pokemon.
let's talk about. Well, I mean, we've literally been talking about Pokemon. Let's go even further
talking
into the
about the
Pokemon
episode.
then. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're gonna go and dive right into our discussion of the newest Pokemon TV anime series, episode number 2. It is so weird to just call it Pokemon TV series now
Yes.
instead of just Pokemon the next gen. or
However.
Sword and Shield. But go on, buddy.
However, we have to make a statement that I had made after this podcast last week, and
we
that
need to
is,
follow
and
up
I
on it.
yes, and I called this because I kind of knew that this shit was gonna happen. That the Pokemon, the TPCI or whatever, TPCI, TV Tokyo, is region locking the episode uploads, and they did it 2 days after the first episode aired. But before that, 2 million views, which tells you something. People want this, and they don't want it GOIP blocked.
They can get the fuck out of here.
And of course, the funny thing is, just for the 3.5 people that actually get their fucking anime news from Comic Book, they fucking mentioned my tweet in it, which I don't know how to feel about that. Do I feel honored, or do I feel that?
Apparently, I
said
was
the same
mentioned
thing
in
about,
Comic Book
Did You
like
Know
5
Gaming?
times. I don't know how I feel.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe people watch this shit. Like, well, no offense to them. No offense to Comic Book. They are pretty. They're pretty diverse in terms of their
The
their
way they
articles.
handle things of news.
The way that they handle the articles. But it's just that real people that watch the anime go to real sites and not some random fly-by-night stuff that actually appears on freaking Google News feed because they probably fucking pay them. So, that's probably the only thing. It's like, yeah. But anyway, shot down people's dreams for having, easy access to the Japanese anime. But at least they're being posted on YouTube in some form every week on TV
Just got
Tokyo's
down
website.
one quicker.
You just have to either A, download them quicker before the AdSense kicks in, or B, you have to use a VPN.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, that's all right. If you here's a fun fact. If you subscribe to their channels, you will get the video. But then if you try to click on it, then it will give you the
Not available in your region.
the not available.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
But it's different. It's different than going to the video page before if you don't have subscribed, because if you go to, like, for example, Pokemon's official page, YouTube channel, or TV Tokyo's, you'll see no videos.
Yeah,
You'll see,
but
like,
they're
almost no
there.
videos in
They're
there.
just not
They're
there
there.
for you.
They appear on the subscriptions, but they don't appear on the channel when you are behind the GOIP block.
Yeah. A couple of things
Can I,
to
just,
note.
can I just mention one thing that's kind of weird?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, right ahead, buddy.
So I was watching the live stream through MOV free, which I'm sure most people in the chat know, and that's pretty much the only way I can really watch the episode. I find it kind of weird that they didn't show the preview during that broadcast. Like, they showed like the end of it, meaning just showing like the episode title and stuff.
And I have the answer to that, and that is because they were they have a campaign going for a clear file that they're giving away.
What
So
campaign?
that like completely took out the
Yeah,
preview.
they had a giveaway segment before the episode started, and then at the end. So they actually took out they took out the Who's That Pokemon segment, so they cut right to commercial, and they took off pretty much everything but the last 5 seconds of the preview because they didn't have enough time.
Yeah. And also,
What was
this
the
is
giveaway for
interesting, too.
again? Like, what was the item?
Clear file. Probably one of the poster images that were shown off for the Pocket Monster series. Probably like the whole.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a
I
giveaway.
was like, wait a minute, are they actually done doing this?
No, they've done this many times with giveaways.
they've done this a lot of times. They have we call them first broadcast
okay.
segments.
But I think this is the first time they've ever done it to where they cut a preview to just the last 5 seconds. Still.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, fuck.
I mean, there has been a history of them cutting a preview short. Like, for example, the preview of AG12 from AG11 on the original broadcast was actually shortened to about 15 seconds instead of 30, but never had like the last 5 seconds.
Yeah. And it was interesting because, like, if you think about it, Sun and Moon also had this as well. But the thing that they did was that they completely removed the Poke Problem segment, which is what they used for the giveaways, and then immediately cut to the preview. Here, it's just like, because there is no Poke Problem segment or any of that sort, it just completely wiped out the preview in general till the last 5 seconds. So that was a little odd right there. But I think that's only going to be something that will happen for the first few weeks of the Pocket Monsters TV series because it's, well, new. So... Yeah, there was that. And I guess before we actually go and dive into the actual episode, I'm pretty confident there's going to be a couple of people who probably want us to talk about one particular thing from this episode that came out. Pokemon Shiritori, or however that thing is called.
What?
Yeah, Pokemon Shiritori, yeah.
You mean the
ending
ED?
song.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
the
was
ending?
garbage.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Garbage.
No, well, okay. I have
something.
I
Minnesota
have-
Attack Time Hero.
I have something to say about that.
Go right ahead.
Okay, the ending is not bad. Actually, it is decent in the realm of they actually tell you how Shiritori works, which of course means it's a Japanese word game. You can look it up, Shiritori.
And we should try that one day.
So
I
I'm
mean,
an uneducated
Yeah,
American.
but that's besides the point.
Mhm.
There are worse endings out there. I mean, if you think about it this way, this was an ending that they kind of needed to do because they had a history of doing this. Like, for example, they had Pokemon Iru Kana. They had that. Then one that didn't make the ending was Pokemon Iru Kana Neo, which was a CD single back in 2000. And then they had but the worst one had to be then the one with freaking 2004 Iero Kana 2004 with Kaba-chan in the car. That's the worst fucking thing. But that one once again was not an ending. That was just an ending for, like, I think Pokemon Sunday. And then Best Wishes had it, Pokemon Iero Kana BW, which was actually worse.
Oh god, the rap song for that.
The rap, yeah, that
but
actually.
guys,
Oh my God.
That I think is worse than this.
That was the best thing about that ending song, man. You cannot front about that.
Yeah, the Pokemon Iru Kana stuff. That's far worse than this.
It was like auto-tune galore for that one, if I remember correctly.
T-Pain was on that one.
Gal All Stars is pretty bad too.
The
I mean,
Oh,
Yeah, it's
KG
funny
has-
because Lil
KG
Weeb-
has a PTSD flashback from Monster Gal Gal.
the movie version of Gal All Stars is fine.
No, it fixed the problems I had with the full version of that song. Have you heard the full version of Gal Gal All Stars?
Oh,
Yes.
it's terrible.
Dude, the last 2 minutes of Gal Gal All Stars, the full version, does nothing but it just speeds up tremendously. So it's like, I monster, like, what the fuck? But the movie version completely wipes that out and just does an actual full-on song, and it is really good. So I approve the movie version. Just don't go for the goddamn TV full ending, man. That's the worst
Bitty
one
bits
to go.
from Ty. Thank you.
I like raids in everything but Pokemon Go.
Thank you for the 60
Thank you
bitty
for the
bits.
60
like,
bitty
though.
bits.
It's a wild
The
thought process
visits,
for
woo!
me. Also,
The
the
money.
ending was funny to me. Yamper best doggo in the anime.
Yes, indeed. Yamper is best boy, man. But yeah, so I will agree with TSS. It's kind of funny. You know what's happening with this song to me? It's become a guilty pleasure song for me, if anything. It's like Under the Alolan song with the dub. You know, like that 30-second song where it's like, oh my god, it sounds like it's gonna get better, and then it just fucking cuts. Like, that's exactly what happened to me with Pokemon Shiritori, where it's like the first 5 seconds of that song sounds so good. It's like we're about to get something really one of a kind, unique, exciting, and then it just does this Shiritori gimmick, and I'm like, at first, I had no idea how to react to it, but then I started seeing people say that this is something that, as TSS stated, is needed for the new era. This is a new, like, I guess in a way, a reboot or a refreshment of the series.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of something nice to do for the time being, you know.
And also, it's popular with kids, as Dogasu.
Yeah, that was also
mentioned
another
as
thing.
well.
Yeah, so it isn't for us, and that's perfectly fine. We have 1, 2, 3, and that's amazing in itself. So we can, you know.
Also, I have to mention, because we did not mention this last week. 123's official video is the first time that we in an official video we have ass slap Pichu, and I'm happy about that. For people who don't know what ass slap Pichu is,
Let me slap that ass.
it's okay. It's,
Now we're gonna get TOS.
It's a movie. Okay, movie 3 short, which is Pikachu and Pichu, right? So you have that. And there is one specific scene which is in all the freaking, like, I have the VHS tape here as well, the rental VHS tape. Like, one of the images that they highlight is just a Pichu just slapping its ass. Like, yeah, come get me.
And that's it. That's literally it.
That's literally what it is. And it just made it into this official video for 123. And listening to the full song, great piece of music.
I love the references that the song has made for some of the Pokemon.
Yeah, lyrically, it's a beautiful song.
Yeah, Mafu and Soraru are some of my favorite artists in Japan. And I mentioned this beforehand, you know, they are known for being like the best friends in Japan. Like, if you think about a dynamic duo friendship that is at the max, you think of Soraru and Mafu. They are just at that level tier. And I think from what I've been told, what got their attention into even getting the ending song or the opening opportunity to do the song was, I think it was that they actually saw one of their videos where I think Mafu was the one that did all the cries for certain Pokemon, and that was what led to it, to making it big with the opening of 1 to 3. At least that's what I'm being told. I have no official confirmation on that bit. That's just something I've just been seeing around the web, and I'm not sure if that's true or not. But yeah, it was interesting to see if that was to be the case, and that's actually really cool right there. But once again, congratulations to these two. You know, Mafu, he loves Pokemon, and to see him get the opportunity to get this chance to make an opening for the series and absolutely nail it, I'm happy. So, and it's I think one of the longest Pokemon opening songs in general. Like, not like the TV size. I'm talking about like full song wise. It's like 5 minutes and 12 seconds.
Like over 5 minutes, which is very rare.
Yeah, I think the last time we ever got like a really big sized opening song, off the top of my head, probably has to be the Advanced Generation one. I want to say it's probably that one, the first opening.
Advanced Adventure?
Yeah.
Advanced Adventure was like 4 minutes.
Yeah, but I think, like, from the top of my head, I'm thinking that might be the longest one for an opening anyway. I know for, like, an ending, I think that has to go to straight X, straight Y, whatever it was, because it was, like, 6 minutes long for that one. But we don't talk about that ending song, though. But yeah, so now let's go and actually jump into the episode then. So this episode here is basically what I was talking about last week. this is the definitive episode 1 for Pocket Monsters, because last week's episode was more of a prelude
That
to
was a
kind of
prologue,
give you, to kind of give you an idea of what you're gonna get into with this new generation. And then episode 2 appears, and this episode completely does a lot. It is incredible with how much they managed to cram into this episode, because it kicks things off with what they did in the last episode with the Dodrio cries, and have them do it yet again this time around. But the big difference is that we are in the present timeline.
Alright.
Oh, we're doing the Zapdos cries now?
That's what it sounded like to me. They just scream. I'm like, holy shit.
I swear to God, I hope they keep that.
You
though.
meant to say Guzzlord?
Oh yeah, no. The Guzzlord cries. There's nothing that can top Guzzlord cry. That's on a whole nother tier right there. But it comes close though. Now going on. Basically now we are in the present timeline. First thing to note, and this is what they show off at the very beginning of the episode, just to make things loud and clear. Continuity exists.
They show it at the
series.
first shot to let you know, like, look, this came straight from Sun and Moon.
Exactly. This is a follow-up. There is no reason why it should not be considered its own saga, whatever. No, this is a continuation, and I'm so grateful that they actually acknowledge that. Especially when you go further into this episode and you just see how much Ash really has grown as a character. In terms of how he approaches opponents now, it's actually really hilarious and absolutely badass at the same time. So yeah, so it continues off, and Ash, of course, continues to remain the same goofball that he is, because, and this is probably my favorite scene, by the way, the alarm clock kicks in yet again, and Pikachu is the one that wakes up, but what makes it so adorable is the substitute plush that he carries with it, because it's so adorable. You never see Pikachu with like a plush like that usually. So it's just like holding it on one side of its arm while he's trying to wake up Ash, and of course Ash is not waking up whatsoever. Like, I love that little attention to detail, because Pikachu is just such a cute character. So to see him hold something similar to his size, I was like, God, my heart was just filled that moment right there. But yeah.
It's like watching a little dog play with a dog toy that's almost his size.
Exactly,
Yeah.
It's great. And then, of course, you see Ash randomly slap Pikachu on the head right there because he was trying to grab the ball. And then, of course, Ash, being the character that he is, decides to yeet that ball to the wall and break the alarm clock. And then, of course, Pikachu decides to follow up with him. It's like, Ash, get your ass up, Ash. He doesn't even fucking wake up at all. He just keeps sleeping the entire time, to the point that Ash gets electrocuted.
He's used to the thunderbolt when he doesn't even wake up from it.
I love it because it's like Pikachu just does an actual smack effect to Ash, and I'm like, that is so great. I love their chemistry already there. So yeah, of course, electrocuted, as Richie pointed out. Nothing happened. Ash seems to be perfectly
He's used
okay.
to it. He's a runner.
Yeah, until Delia comes and it's like, hey, wake up already. You have to go to your, thing with Professor Oak. And that's when it leads to them heading off to Vermilion City to go and take a look at the newest lab. I forgot what the name of the professor is. Sakuragi, something like that?
Sakuragi, yeah.
Sakuragi? Okay, Sakuragi. Laboratories, because they're doing an opening over there. And from there, this is where things start getting into a completely different direction. So let's start talking about this from all over the place. And we begin things, I guess, with the characters themselves. So, what do you guys think about the new characters that were introduced in this episode, being of Professor Sakuragi, Go, and Koharu, now in the present timeline?
We don't get much on them in this episode, to be quite honest. At least that was my thing. Is like we rarely see Sakuragi
And Koharu as well.
Koharu, she's there. So Koharu has a nice moment in the episode.
Sakuragi sounds like freaking, what is it?
And
Kadematsu if he was on freaking Downers. That's because that's the
VA.
That's the VA.
Exactly.
I like how it's very similar. I really appreciate that voice. Koharu is really cool. She's like
Sakura.
I like I'm not gonna say all that now, but I like the moment that she had where you know Ash is gets shocked by the Yamper and she just sort of is like, not my business.
I'm just gonna scoot over here to
I'm
the
just
side.
gonna
out of
yeet
the
all
way.
the way over, out of the way.
Indeed. Koharu seems to be the straight man, which is kind of funny.
Straight woman.
Yeah,
The
straight woman.
Yeah, straight woman. Another thing as well, for some reason, she doesn't seem to like Ash.
At least not now. I think it's just because Ash is a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Koharu can't handle all of it. I mean, she already has problems with Go. Now to have another character that's pretty much the exact replica of Go in terms of that active-go-lucky kind of attitude. And I think it's going to be too much for her to handle, man.
Yeah, just a lot.
Yeah. But
A
you know,
lot to
like
handle
like
right now.
people say about Stranger and all that, but like if you think about it with like past companions, it's like people normally just hit it off on the first shot. Here, Koharu is like one of the first few I've seen who actually takes her time with trying to kind of, you know,
Open up
get
to
used,
Ash.
yeah, open up to the character. And I'm like, okay, we kind of got a bit of an idea of what Koharu is. Koharu goes to school, she does the things, you know, she's the student and whatnot. And as Orion mentioned, Go being the guy that skipped classes, so I guess it's safe to say that Go is supposed to do some actual Pokemon School-esque stuff, but he's completely neglecting it to go and focus on this new professor stuff that's being handed to them at the finale of this episode, where they're Pokemon researchers or something like that.
Well, of course.
Yeah, so we'll probably get more details on that in the next episode. It was touched upon a little bit at the end. But yeah, so we got a bit of an idea of who they are. I'm also kind of glad we got a little bit from Sakuragi, you know, being the professor that he is and kind of acknowledging like what he does and what makes him different from Professor Oak anyway. But with that being said, I'm a little bummed out we didn't get at all regarding the two companions that are with Sakuragi, the two professor's assistants. Because they were present there, but they had no dialogue whatsoever. So I'm assuming we're probably going to get that touched upon in the next episode as well. There's a lot of things that this episode introduced that didn't really get touched upon and will probably be saved over time, like what they've done before in the past.
Yeah.
So for these three characters, the only one who really got the biggest amount of development had to have gone to Go. And I will say, thanks to this episode, it really gave me a clear idea as to how Go will be alongside with Ash. And I have to say, I'm really loving it. I think they absolutely nailed their chemistry with each other. But what do you guys think about that, though?
I agree.
About what?
The chemistry between Go and Satoshi.
The interaction between Go and Ash.
I think it's going to be very important for the series.
Yeah, it is going to be important because literally they're going to be the ones that are going to carry the series.
I like Go's attitude on talking with Ash. He's like, and then I've decided. He's like, I decided you will be my friend. It's clear that Go is not social by any sense of the word.
Yeah.
He makes the decisions for people to be his friends just strictly off of the fact that they both have a common like for Pokemon. That alone just sort of decided it for him. But it's clear that Go is one of those characters that takes it upon himself to make a decision into hell with anybody else reaction. He doesn't get social cues, I think is what I'm trying to say.
To answer Robzo's question, actually, it's not more as formal. He's more kind of self-centered.
Yeah.
Like I said,
you can tell that in the prologue episode where
very pompous.
He was giving information about Pokemon and he was giving it to he wasn't necessarily trying to outshine Professor Oak, more or less just gloating about his own knowledge.
And also at the scene when they were at the bridge, he also specifically stated he didn't even want friends. He just wanted to do his own things, you know?
Carl was just like, chill out, dude. You keep this up, you're not going to get any friends. And I don't care about friends. I just want to flex my Pokemon skills.
Yeah, exactly. And that's pretty much who he is, you know? And we see a little bit of his character in action even before meeting up with Ash. And I have to say my favorite scene, and I really hope this is a recurring thing, had to be in the Psyduck bit.
Yes.
Oh,
that made me laugh my ass off. I laughed my ass off in that scene. That was great.
Yeah, so basically, there was a report that there is a raid battle going to happen, a legendary or a mythical Pokemon appearing,
Yeah.
and Go already is at the spot, and he
Supposedly.
counts down from supposedly counts down from 10 down to 0,
Right.
and then he's just waiting, and it's like turns around, oh, there's a Psyduck.
Oh.
Yeah, I love how the Psyduck also, by the way, just sort of appears. It doesn't like just walk by or anything. No, it just appears. And then they just go a super zoom up shot of Psyduck in the face, and then you see the one that just passed by, the image of Go, completely devastated by this. And
I kind of wish you just looked back and all of a sudden. So
yeah, like that level of comedy, is great because it's so out of left field. It completely throws you off and just.
And it's a different style of comedy that actually works, unlike Sun and Moon.
Yeah. It's just like the timing and everything.
Yeah, I feel like they improved upon it. Yeah, if this is what they're gonna go with comedy-wise, I think we're gonna get a really good improvement over what Sun and Moon had offered.
Yeah, and let's also talk about Satsuki getting trolled by the freaking Snorlax that gets in the way as it's supposed to in the fucking games, right?
Also, is anybody else kind of surprised Ash is walking in like that sort of neighborhood? Because when I saw that, I was thinking like Ash is gonna have a piece of toast in his mouth. Yeah, and he's like he's going to school. My name is Satoshi from Masada Town, and I'm on my way to middle school to meet my friends or some shit like that.
What'd you say, Rich?
I don't know. The neighborhood just kind of reminded me of Takagi-san for whatever reason. It looked very similar.
I want to comment. I want to comment on the raid battles before Ash and Go showed up. I was almost gonna call them NPCs. Jesus Christ! I like the extras.
What's the
trainers.
difference?
I like the trainers that were in the raid battle because they could have just drawn them generically, but no, they actually look like legitimate. Like
they look
characters.
Unique.
Yeah, they look like characters. I know
they're voiced by real people.
Yeah, I know they're not. I know they're probably just we'll never really see them again.
Yeah,
but I love these
Megami Hayashibara and Shinichiro Miki did both 2 trainers in this one.
Yeah, like the trainers out there just looked, it was like very cool to see some background characters that looked cool.
Yeah, it's like they're protagonists of their own storyline. Unfortunately, they're slapped into this show about a 10-year-old boy instead.
And another... Go ahead.
No, you're good. You bring up that segment with the trainers, particularly in the raid battle. I think just that entire segment of the episode was top notch. You gotta agree with me here. The animation from Ash, getting up close with Lugia, introducing himself and whatnot. I thought that was all amazing.
Dude,
I think Ash did the most damage to Lugia in that fight.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Like, while it still didn't show like it did actual damage, you could see from the visual alone that was, enough to really be different compared to all the other trainers. Well, it did catch the attention of Lugia, though. That was the key thing, because if you see at the footage that was happening, if you pay attention, like when Jolteon used Thunder, it only just did a little slap to Lugia's belly. Like, it didn't actually highlight the entire Pokemon and electrocute it like that. Pikachu was the only Pokemon to actually showcase some physical damage to Lugia in that statement.
Now that's a champion.
Yeah, I love that. Like that entire scene when Ash got introduced to Lugia, him having himself not even see the Pokemon before he introduces him, that shit was great. I loved it. And of course, the way he introduces himself, the dialogue, the music that accompanies it, and then of course the new animation for Pikachu's Thunderbolt now. That looks clean.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Like he punches or slaps his cheeks to activate the to activate the electricity. That the animation so far from these 2 episodes have really been amazing, man, and I hope that this level of consistency can continue to carry on. Of course, it's the first 2 episodes of the series, and it's always going to be like that, where the first few episodes are always going to look really, really detailed until we get to the regular style animation that's going to be the thing that will carry the series forward, until highlight moments happen in the episodes. But from what we got so far, I really have been enjoying it. Also, another key thing to note as well with the previews that we got, anybody else surprised at the mere fact that that's it for the previews? Like, because, like, the previews for, like, we don't know anything now moving forward. Only just the posters.
Well, I mean, we know like the nine episodes that are.
Yeah, but I mean,
there.
like, we don't have any animation previews for them. Is what I'm referring to.
Right.
In, in Sun and Moon, they did that where they shown off
too
stuff.
early.
Maybe it is. I'm not sure, but they've done this for past series where they show off like clips that don't really show up until maybe 4 episodes later. But here we've gotten only clips for just the first 2 episodes, and now moving forward we have no preview clips whatsoever.
Now before we also move into the next section, I want to also notice that once again this week we have more characters that are, or more Pokemon characters that are being shown in the credits that we haven't known before. Like, for example, Wanpachi or Yamper is voiced by Inuko Inuyama. Bardyard is actually Yuji Uedo, which I didn't even remember because freaking it's always been, there's always another Pokemon that Yuji Uedo does, or, he does Takashi, that you don't see this credit. Also, this is the first time since freaking, what was it, Diamond and Pearl, that Hanako is actually credited as Hanako, or, Satoshi's mother. And,
Wait,
as opposed
for once they actually did that?
Yeah, they actually credited her as Hanako, which is her name. Not like last season where it's like Satoshi Mama. That's that's kind of what.
Well, I think in the last season they never actually said her name though.
No, they did not.
So this is like the first time we actually, I think, get that though. Did they ever say her name here?
Yes.
When?
Probably with Okido.
Oh yeah. When she appeared to go into the car, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that was like one of the rare instances where her actual name pops up, and it's actually funny.
it's like I said, this is like the first time since at least like DP that I can remember that she's credited as Hanako.
I guess now, speaking about Satoshi's mother now, we should also probably talk about one of the biggest changes that now happened in this episode, which I am surprised that they're going with this route. So, she, being of Ash's mother, decided at the end of this episode to leave Mr. Mime over at Sakuragi Lab to take care of Satoshi, which now explains why Mr. Mime is in the opening of 1, 2, 3. Because I thought that was so weird when I saw it there. Because I was like, why is Mr. Mime there? Is Mr. Mime going to be a recurring character? Well, yeah, now it actually is. Because now it's actually going to be at the lab and keeping an eye on Ash and Pikachu. Which I think is going to be really cool to see.
The security camera.
Yeah, right. Like if Mr. Mime carries a camera every...
You just see Mr. Mime's eye move back and...
You know what? Like, I hope like Mr. Mime has like a one of those kind of computer monitors where it's like 18 different monitors showing every single
I know it's bullshit, but what I think is going to happen, since obviously Gen 8 is involved, Mr. Mime's here so that Sakuragi can be like, Mime. And it's the Galarian one though, so they do a compare and contrast situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's probably obvious.
But that's not going to be until far, far later, though.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that's just a possibility that I believe in.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the thing that will open up the opportunity for that. But I'm interested to see what's going to go down for Mr. Mime. I'm really glad because I think I really enjoyed his character a lot in Sun and Moon. So if we can explore upon that now in Pocket Monsters, I think that's a lot of potential for that. But now what's going to happen with poor Dele? She's going to be by herself now.
Again.
Unless Ash ends up finding another Pokemon that could be with her, though.
Well, to be fair, also, this is at least Ash is in the Kanto region this time.
That is true.
Well,
yeah, right.
She said the drive back to Vermilion City and tough. She didn't say, but I'm sure she would much rather drive than fly all the way to
another goddamn region.
Yeah, I know, right? Shit.
So I'm sure we'll probably see Delia a lot.
Which is good. We need more of her. She really does add a different layer. Like, I love the
Delia,
interaction she had with Go at the very end. where she basically embarrasses Ash like everything about make sure to brush your clothes or brush your teeth and wash your clothes.
Brush your clothes,
Yeah, brush your clothes and wash your teeth and whatnot.
Brush your clothes, goddammit.
Yeah, brush them now. And then, of
And
course,
don't forget to
asking...
change your underwear.
She didn't say that. I'm so pissed the fuck off.
I think she was going to say that, but Ash cut him off. Though,
Okay.
Yeah.
You already know.
Now let's talk about the meat and potatoes of this freaking episode. That's Lugia, because freaking Lugia is amazing.
Oh yeah, I
The
agree with you on that
sequences,
one.
oh my god.
Yeah, it's a
Animation-wise,
beautiful.
it was
It's
beautiful.
really. Yeah, I would say it's really beautiful. I will say though, it eats up time that could have been spent.
But I
with,
think
with Ash and the others.
Well, the reason that could be the case because Lugia might be the transportation or could play this huge role for the Pokemon series. So I think that's why they.
Yeah, I think that's why.
I mean, I wanna say that too, but then he just leaves. Like, all right, bye, y'all.
Yeah, but
See ya.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
I don't
dips
have-
them
I
in
don't have any-
somewhere in Kanto.
Somewhere in Kanto, right?
yeah, but no, personally, I don't really have much of an issue. I don't really have an issue with that. I still think the Lugia segment was still a pretty a memorable one for this series so far.
Yeah, first of all, it introduces Satoshi and Go together, which the reactions priceless.
Yeah, exactly. Look, see, Tyrone, look, if it hadn't been for Lugia, Ash and God would have met. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so Lugia is a pivotal point in this series, and I hope Lugia gets the opportunity to kind of reappear later down the road, because it would be weird to do this one and done deal with Lugia, you know?
Right.
No, and it's not going to be.
Yes.
No.
So we know things are going to happen. We just don't know to what extent Lugia is going to contribute to with this series. Now, there is one key thing, though, we need to talk about regarding Lugia. And
Go ahead.
I had no idea what the hell they're going to do with this storyline now because of one particular line. And that line was said by, of all characters, Lugia.
Sounds like
Lugia
telepathy.
actually spoke in this episode.
Let's go.
Now, here's the thing, though.
No, it was Here We Go.
Yeah,
Here we
Here
go.
we go.
And-
Exalt.
that was what Lugia said, right? Here we go, or something like that?
Yeah,
He said it to
Here we go.
Ash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now here's the thing.
He said Exalt.
Now, here's the thing, though. Apparently, at the end of the episode, Ash was the only one who was able to pick up on that. Go at all and didn't get a chance to even hear any of that. Only Ash did. So I'm wondering if that's gonna be the theme that Ash is gonna be going through throughout the series.
It's kind of weird to give him powers to listen to Pokemon talk at this late.
Well, it's actually movie canon now, so
Well, I mean, Ash is the
Get
champion now.
off.
He's basically God at this point. He could communicate
yeah,
with Pokemon.
exactly.
His aura is activating
I don't
again,
know.
guys.
I felt like that was more of an end thing. Like, I don't know, Ash getting it so weirdly and late in his lifespan.
He's still
He's just
10. What do you mean weirdly late?
Well,
His lifespan.
I'm
so
talking
sad.
about
Lifespan of
all the
one
shit.
day.
I'm talking about all the shit he's been through. Now he can listen to Pokemon. Okay, whatever.
I'm telling you, it's because he's a champion now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's dumb. There's no other way around it. That's
Also, you
stupid.
gotta realize, when was the last time Ash even interacted with a Lugia anime-wise?
Long time ago, 2001.
2001.
Exactly. So
Yep.
things have changed since his last time in Johto, I want to say.
Yeah. And clearly it's not the same Lugia, but still,
Of
just
course not. But it's still something nice, and I think that that's going to be what they're going to do with Ash's character, because when you really think about it now, what exactly are they going to do with Ash's character? Because it's really being something that's going to be more Go-focused, given that he's going to want to try to go for Mew, and they're going to become research fellows. So it's like, we need to kind of add a secondary storyline to these characters to kind of give them a little bit something else to do on their journey throughout the various parts of the Pokemon world. So if Ash is going to be the one to get this ability to where he can communicate with Pokemon, particular maybe like legendaries or something of that sort, I think that could be something that would be really cool to see be touched upon. To what extent, I really don't know. And what could they use for that particular plot, I really don't know as well. But it'd be something interesting nonetheless. And I hope this opens the door for that, you know. Like, let's say this time around, maybe Ash isn't going to fight, you know, characters or be in leagues or anything. What if his, like, new goal is to, like, confront legendaries now? and battle them, and then probably get moments of dialogue between them. I think that would be something pretty unique, but I don't know. This is still a mystery for me. We literally in episode 2, they could play with anything at this point, and I think that's the coolest thing about it all is the amount of opportunities.
And to be fair, not to rain on like KG's parade, I still think these 2 episodes are better than SM1 and 2.
Oh, no,
I'm not saying they aren't.
I think.
Listen, man. As you guys already know, whenever we move on into a new series, I always have to shit the last one. So of course.
What the fuck?
Sun and Moon is trash now compared to Pocket Monsters from these 2 episodes.
You just got done
Oh my
cussing
God.
everybody out, KG, for fucking. You got done cussing everybody out for
Wow,
hating on
drop that shit real fast.
Right.
Why
Wow,
look back
man.
in the past? Look at the present, man. That's how it is.
Oh my
never
goodness.
mind. Never mind.
And honestly, I might get some shit for this, but I even think these
Would
two
you not? No, just kidding.
these first 2 episodes are actually better than XY.
Yes.
Mm.
You get
Got him again.
Got
We're gonna do this
Oh,
again, huh?
no. I mean, presentation-wise, they look beautiful, but I feel like this episode is. I don't know. This episode, it's good. I will say that it's definitely good. Visually,
like-
it's beautiful, but I feel like
E1, E2 are late game. That's what it is.
yeah, I feel like Ash and Go didn't. It's weird. They had a lot of time together, but Ash and Go. I guess this is gonna be up to like how they do the rest of the episodes. But the minute Ash and Go met each other, they just. I don't know. They didn't have enough time to really interact because they were too busy. Lugia, one like going in awe at all the shit that was happening.
Also, you gotta remember,
And that's-
this is still technically like episode 0 and
It's-
episode 1.
I would say, yeah, it's beautiful, it's nice, but by the time they get back, they're like, Sakuraki's like, hey, I've suddenly decided I want you two to do research for me. All right, yeah, we'll do it. Okay, you can stay here. Goodbye. The episode over. Fuck.
Oh, by the way, you got your
Okay.
starter? Wait, you don't want a starter? Your starter's mute? What?
Your starter's mute. What? That makes no fucking sense. You're gonna get Score Bunny. We see it in the opening.
Well, we'll
Well,
find
then
out
again,
soon enough regarding that.
Then again, though, I mean, all of the series have kind of like freaking gave spoilers. I mean, AG did it.
Well, I know
Shoto-
that. They just pressed the fast forward, but after they got off Lugia, they pressed the fast forward button on the episode.
It's
It
like,
was
shit,
so
we only have 2 minutes
Yeah.
left.
Oh shit, we made them play on
Well-
Lugia too long. Fuck.
Well, they gotta find a way to introduce Ash and Go, some way.
I think this
Well,
was the
give it
right
to
way
each
to
other.
do. I think this was the right way to do it.
Oh, it's a good way to introduce the two
Honestly-
together. There's no doubt about that. I don't know. I wish we had got a little bit more time for them to really talk to each other.
But we're gonna have
Well-
that time. I mean, we're gonna have it. Like I said, in a few episodes. We're
I
gonna
think the
have
only
those
reason I'm bugged by this is because I know the next episode is like, check out Ivysaur evolve, and I'm like, what?
I don't think it's going to be
Ju-
the
ju-
key
just-
thing, though.
No, and the rockets. We have to get back the rockets.
Ah, that bullshit.
Well, give
Okay,
it time.
so-
Oh
Tyrone.
god.
Let me ask a question here. Like, what do you guys think? Are they gonna make Team Rocket literally travel to every fucking region that
Yes.
Ash goes to?
Yes,
Did you
that's
not
the
see
That's
point.
the-
stupid.
Did you not see the
They've been
preview that
doing
they
it-
showed?
That's fucking stupid.
They've been doing this for 20 plus years.
Why wouldn't
No,
they?
that's dumb. See, it worked for the other ones because, like, when Ash was staying in that region the whole time, so it's clear that they travel. You mean to tell me Giovanni's gonna waste precious fucking money to have these idiots go from Johto to Kanto to Hoenn to fucking Sinnoh?
That's assuming that they actually give them money, which they haven't.
They never get money.
Remember,
Kalos?
they're freaking third tier.
To
I think it's
Kalos?
funny because they
They get
destroyed
less-
Kalos.
They
Supposedly.
get less money. They get less money than fucking like low tier Marines.
See, I get Ash and Ghost thing because they're getting, like, Sakuragi's giving them transportation to get to the region and do the
Yeah,
research for the
VIP
mission.
treatment right there.
Like, yeah, they're getting the research for the mission.
Yeah,
What
and the
is
Rockets
this
have a
gonna-
balloon. A balloon.
Like, look at this science. Look at this as a storyline. You got to look at this narratively. Jesse, what is Jesse James and Meow gonna do? Oh shit, the twerp went to Johto. Let's go. Oh shit, he went back to Hoenn. Oh shit, he went to Sinnoh. Oh shit, it just feels muffly and muddy and nasty. It just doesn't work for me.
What if
'Cause now-
instead
when they were
though,
chasing Ash and the others in the region, it was okay because they were everywhere Ash went, Team Rocket was slowly behind. But here, it's gonna be a mess.
Well, Tyrone, and here you still watching this series.
yeah, they're gonna still be here. Now, quick question though, like, what if they do like this? What if it's just more of a oh shit, they're here kind of moment.
Well,
it's
I
like,
suggested that early. I suggested that before the series started.
Yeah, it's like where Team Rocket ends up getting
it.
an assignment from Giovanni. They end up going to that region, and it just so happened that coincidentally Ash and Go need to go to that said region in that exact same position as well.
See, and that digs into my problem I have with Team Whole. It's like they need to die.
They're not gonna die, but they're getting less and less episodes.
Yuji Ueda needs a job. So
Team Rocket, I would say Team Rocket is the most. Team Rocket's whole gimmick is the most commercialized thing to happen in Pokemon, and this is a show that sells plushies. Like,
gotta have the wobble with the lipstick.
It's just we need y'all here because y'all are part of the original cast. That's dumb. At some point, you gotta realize that Team Rocket doesn't fit in everything.
But you do realize that, unfortunately, Japan and I think everyone across the world loves Team Rocket as well. So you can't just completely wipe them out.
Can't just get rid of it. It's money.
Exactly. You're losing money if you get rid of them.
Money wins over good storytelling. Again.
Well, we don't know. We said the same thing for Team Rocket and Sun
same
and
thing
Moon.
can be said with the government, but we don't say anything about that.
I wasn't going to go that far, but I was going to say with Team Rocket and Sun and Moon, like everybody thought Sun and Moon Team Rocket needed to go at the start of the series, but look how they turned out at the end of Sun and Moon.
Ironically enough, it's because they didn't fuck with Ash a lot in Sun and Moon.
Well, I mean, they're not going to probably do it every single episode either. They're probably going to be treated similarly to like how they were in Sun and Moon. Whereas like they're only going to appear in certain parts of the episodes where they are needed, and then when they're not needed, they're just going to be somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
So like I feel like it would be a good opportunity for them to kind of go and explore a little bit of what they can do with Team Rocket in this generation. I think they even talked about this in like one of the interviews when Team Rocket was revealed. They're saying, hey, if you guys have any suggestions for what Team Rocket could do this generation, that would be kind of cool idea, you know? So... I think there's something about it that they could do. Somebody says expand their store. Hell yeah, we're going global with the fucking Beware food.
Gotta become a franchise.
Multi-billion franchise, and yet still can't capture the yellow root.
Right.
But yeah, Team Rocket, I do agree with you. They definitely are characters that are just like, how and why are they still here? But we'll probably figure more about this later down the road.
The people have spoken. That's why they're here.
All one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All one of them, right? Well, the demographics show that Team Rocket fucking
99%.
99.9% of the fucking.
And what's that little .1 over there? Oh, that's some guy named Tyrone.
Right.
There you go. But I will say, though, there is one thing I'm interested with this series that I'm kind of glad that they're taking things a little slow this time around. They're not really... It's funny. They're going fast, but at the same time, they're going slow, if that makes sense. Because, like, they're introducing a lot of elements, but they're not tackling upon them at the very moment that they're talked about. And I think this could open up a lot of opportunities to sort of go and expand upon that bit by bit throughout the series of Pocket Monsters. I talked about this with a particular character in Sun and Moon, with Mallow, where I said a lot of the cool things regarding Mallow's character was that she never got episodic focused moments, but rather had moments in other episodes that eventually lead to big episodes focused on her. You know, it's like small moments that eventually get to the big point, with like how Mallow had to go through, you know, her mother not being here no more, eventually having an episode to focus on that and whatnot. And even like with the Pokemon Stoutland as well, where they showed off it a little bit before it eventually got its main focus later down the road. It's things like that that I feel like they're going to probably do with these characters. And I hope they do, because first impression wise, I'm really digging this cast. And I think there could be a lot of fun potential with them in playing around and experimenting and just trying out new things we've never really get to see in Pokemon before. Because normally Pokemon, the anime, has tend to be a very linear adventure, which makes sense because that's literally how the Pokemon games are. You know, you go from
with the exception of Sun and Moon,
yeah, you know, with the exception of Sun and Moon, and now moving from Sun and Moon into Pocket Monsters, we're taking that to a much bigger scale. To now where they're going global, they're going across the world.
Well, you want to know something I thought about a lot, even before this show actually started, and we got like the idea of what this show was gonna be. So for the longest time, I thought about Sun and Moon, and then I thought about all the other series. And this series clearly is doing a thing where the one thing people saw in Sun and Moon was that Sun and Moon was a very open series. It didn't hesitate to let you know, hey, we're not gonna be very linear this time. Ash can chill out, he can have fun. He's in Alola. He's chilling in Alola. The thing about that is though, is that deterred away from a lot of people, myself included, because the show wasn't focused.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I think the direction they took, oddly enough, has the formulas from both all the original series up to X and Y, and has a formula from Sun and Moon. Reason being is because Ash is not on a permanent journey. He's doing missions. It's every episode is a mission. So every episode he's going to a different region to do a specific mission, which means the story is self-contained in that one episode, like we figured out. And in addition to that, he is going to be completing the objective while he's in that region. So it oddly enough found a way to be open and linear at the same time.
You know what would be really good if they could do this?
What?
Add something that carries over throughout future episodes. Like, add a plot line that won't really be, something that they'll tackle upon until far later into the series. Like, let's say they get introduced to a certain particular threat or something that might not be relevant at the moment now, but could be something of a bigger deal moving forward. Because, like, people mentioned the Mew plot line. We need to really start addressing that one, because that's literally Go's whole thing. And I think we're going to get that into Go episode in episode 9, was it? Or something like that. So, I'm hoping that they start branching things out to really open up a lot of discussion and debate. Because I think that was the one thing Sun and Moon lacked that other series nailed right. They introduced a lot of cool elements that made fans speculate and theorize in the direction of the series and where it's going to go forward from there, Like with X and Y, when we get like...
By the way, episode 9 is Ho-Ho.
Oh, okay.
You're probably talking about episode 6, which is him and Mew.
And also, capturing all the Pokemon and whatnot,
right.
Stuff like that.
Just want to add that correction.
Thank you for that. Now, to go back what I was saying, I would really love for them to, just kind of explore on these kind of things, to just really branch it out and have fun with it. I hope they do. I think there's a lot of potential with it,
Right.
But outside of that, though, I have not much more to say regarding this episode. I guess the other thing I could probably bring up is the music. What do you guys think about the music this time around?
I love the wild battle theme already.
It sounds so good.
So when I heard the wild battle theme in the anime, shit! Although I'm actually really surprised because in the trailer they showed the wild battle theme during the raid battle, whereas in here they showed the wild battle theme when Ash is fighting Lugia by himself. Yeah.
Now, this is common that they've done in past trailers, because I believe for the episode when Ash was going up against Tapu Koko in the finale, they had Type Wild play in the background, but it was actually a different part of Type Wild that was playing at that moment instead of the other segment. So it was a little, it's something that they've done before in the past. It's no surprise there, but I do agree with you, and I'm kind of glad that they kept it for Ash, because I think Ash deserved that one, honestly. Like, it worked really well with his moment right there when he was fighting against Lugia. And the other traders were just like, I believe they got the... What was the song that they got? Was it just the anime exclusive song, I think? I want to say it was.
Probably.
Yeah. And speaking about anime exclusive songs, man, the one that when Ash and Go were on Lugia, though, was so calm and amazing, man. I loved it. I absolutely love that moment, because it feels so, and I know this is so dumb to say, but it's going to be something that I'm pretty confident fans are going to keep saying over and over again, so allow me to also add to that. I had my hero feels with these songs, man.
Okay, people that say that, you have to remember, we have to look at it from the perspective of the composer, not this perspective of the series that he also does. It's like you have to get out of that stigma that it's Hayashi's music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's his style of music.
No, but
It's
I'm
not-
saying
Yeah,
because
and,
like, go on.
No, I'll let you finish up. Go ahead.
Oh, it's more like you know, I know it's weird, and I unfortunately is gonna be stuck with that for a while until we get adjusted to it. I mean, we literally been stuck with Miyazaki for 20 plus years now, so it's very, it's hard to just suddenly change so quickly. But with the recent season of My Hero Academia, you know, just coming out, and him, of course, composing music for that one, and that already carrying over into Pocket Monsters, it's going to be something that many fans are going to compare and contrast a lot on, because it is his work, you know, and I'm going to probably be on that for a little bit, you know, I'm just going to give you guys that heads up. But I really am enjoying it. I'm not saying it as a bad thing, you know, regarding saying, oh, I'm going to compare it to another series. I'm saying it as more as like, I'm really loving that the music that this man composes from another series, the feel of it, is still maintained in another franchise like here, where the music is able to kind of have its own identity and really be something unique and refreshing to hear, because there are musical pieces in this series that I swear to God I never hear in past generations, because I feel Miyazaki's form of music has a certain particular use of instruments, you know, like in terms of what he uses to compose, whereas with Hayashi here, I feel like there's a different variety now. It's like
different variety of sound fonts, which is why Goldfarb uses the $5 ones instead of the $100 ones.
Like I mentioned last week's episode, I loved the piano piece when Pichu was crying with the Kangaskhan. Like that was one of my favorite songs already. And then now here in this one, my favorite piece has to be when Ash and Go were on top of Lugia right there. That was so good. And once again, I'm going to cry because it's like I'm never going to get these songs until 3022 now, am I?
3022?
Exactly. I'm not going to get these songs right now. When do you expect
For 1,000 years?
Yes.
1,000. No, 1,000.
I mean,
1,003 years. 1,003 years.
Right.
1,003 years. Yeah.
Excuse me?
We'll be dead by then.
I think the people who made the song would be dead too.
unless we become gods or something, we are not going to.
Unless we inherit the young blood.
KG, won't you be able to download it on Telepath? Like,
telepathy.
No, it's just the app's called Telepath, and it happens in your brain. You just press a button in your head, and the music's in there already.
Damn. But
it's the year 3022.
And you know, I don't remember where I heard this from. I believe it's from Twitter, but you know, now that we have a new music composer, you know, no more Miyazaki music anymore. I just like how some people are saying that Pokemon doesn't really feel like Pokemon since Miyazaki isn't the one composing the music anymore. It feels like an entirely different series.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of a different vibe to it.
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna say it doesn't feel like Pokemon.
No.
You know what? It's also you know what you could say as well. Isn't this the Reiwa era now with Pocket Monsters?
Yes.
So just call it the
Reiwa.
Reiwa era of Pokemon instead of the other one. You know, this is a new era, therefore.
Well, yeah, it's Heisei versus Reiwa.
Exactly. So there you go. Well, instead of comparing it via series, let's compare it via eras. And I think the Reiwa era is a new, refreshing take on it, and I think it's going to be something that. The only thing I just hope is that there are more songs playing, because I did hear a couple of songs that were already reused in this episode that were in last episode. So let's hope we get a little bit more this time around, because if we're not going to be using 22 years of music, man, yeah, we need to figure out how we're going to... Well, even then, actually, I think it's more like 6 years, because I think it was like Best Wishes to Sun and Moon. That was literally it. They couldn't even use songs from the past. So, like, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but...
Also, again, we have the thing credited to TV Tokyo Music and not Sony. So,
please, dear God, let this be a sign. I don't care if we get official subbing. At least give us the goddamn OST then. One thing or the other, please. Thank you.
Yeah. So hopefully, hopefully the licensing shit with the music will be much better.
Do you think, I mentioned this before, do you think it might be because or maybe it's just the new Reiwa era, that's why they're trying out new things, who knows?
Well, I mean, because, Hayashi probably has his own thing with TV Tokyo because, of course, probably had the agreement.
Now, with that being said, though, I wonder what's next now for this series. There's a lot of open opportunities that
Next week is Ivysaur. I mean, the Bulbasaur line.
Okay, now here's the thing. I thank you for bringing that up, Richie. I'm really glad you brought that up because I almost forgot to bring this up.
Mm-hmm.
Next week's episode will make it or break it for me for one thing only.
Damn.
And I think everybody will know about what I'm talking about.
Ash's Bulbasaur.
And not just Ash's Bulbasaur, but rather continuity as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's literally following a theme we've already seen before. I mean, hell, it's literally about a breed of Bulbasaur lines right there and funny enough, there's only just Ivysaurs there. The Bulbasaur Garden, the one we've had back in the OS series. If you were able to give us a nice little reference to the Poliwag pencil sharpener, to the Lola League trophy, to all that kind of good stuff, please give us references to some things that I'm pretty confident fans that have been there for 20 plus years will get, because that would be such a nice little nod right there. And really pay respects to everything Pokemon that has been present since the very beginning to where we are at right now. Something, please, just anything. I know we're disappointed that we didn't get to see XY Ash or Sunny Moon Ash in the Pocket Monsters art style like it was in the manga, but at least give us like this whole Bulbasaur thing. That would be really cool to see. I would love to see Ash's Bulbasaur at least make an appearance here too of some form.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Yeah, but I feel like when I say make it or break it, I'm talking about references or continuity-wise stuff. Because if this episode doesn't do it, then I'm pretty confident that episodes moving forward are not going to
we're jumping kind of fast in order to get that done immediately.
No, but it's like, we're literally going to also be getting that Piplup and Krogan episode, if you remember, as well.
Yeah.
Which is...
I think now part of me wants to tell myself, I think what they're going to try to do is get Ash and Go's relationship going first. And then they'll start squeezing in other characters.
Or maybe not squeezing in other characters, but
Koharu's still up in the air on whether or not she even wants to engage in this shit.
Oh, she doesn't. She wants to be
not
far
really.
Away from that
like the show is really like trying to baby step Koharu in, which is fine. Because I think what they're doing almost the Serena, right? Where they keep her away from the plot, or they don't have her interact with the heroes that much until it's her time. Because really, all she does here, what does she do? She just gives Go some homework and thankfully
she goes to school.
Yeah, she goes to school.
She goes to school. She gets Go the homework, and she's daughter to Sakuragi. But that's about it. And we knew some of that since episode 0.
Yeah, because they talked a little bit about it then.
Right.
Okay, if we're not going to do that, at least let's see her friends. She has friends outside of Go. So let's explore their character, too. I would like to see moments where they could just, go... Maybe if Koharu is not going to be with the main gang, at least have Koharu hang out with her friends and make episodes out of that as well. Because it would be nice to see it from her perspective of how she is as a character and how she differs from Ash and Go, who are much more energetic.
Just have those sound like typical anime school episodes.
Hell yeah! Hey, listen, man, I would not mind at all. I would love to see what this Pokemon
It'd be
school
more
is all
school life than Sun and Moon.
I mean,
and that's the sad truth, buddy.
Right.
I mean, we are taking this slice of life approach, so I don't see why not.
Hell yeah, buddy, and I'm all down for it already. I think there's a lot of potential with that. It's just kind of funny now thinking about it that Sunny Moon is literally school themed, yet somehow it didn't even do the school theme as well. And yet here, it's not even the main plot yet. It's probably going to get more focused than you would imagine. So we'll probably see more about that soon enough. But anything else you guys want to add to this episode review? Or should we go and wrap things up then?
I think we're about done
No,
here.
we're good.
All right.
I think we
were going to talk about the
E2's
games. We were gonna talk about the games, but I think we'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about that via
Pokemon
the
Sword,
Pokemon Shield, actually. Yeah, we're gonna do our Pokemon Shield playthrough. Just to let fans know about how that's actually turning out. I already spent 20 hours in this game.
and he hasn't even gotten the first badge.
Yeah, I already got I'm almost pretty much at my first level 100 Pokemon, guys.
This game, man, this game it's great.
You know, I still say,
all they really need to do is fix the fucking online. But outside
all they need to do is
that,
fix the online. But it's like, you know, people will still shit on this game, until the end of time. And I don't think we're gonna.
Okay, now just to clarify, folks, I have been doing raid battles. I've been doing a lot of 5-star raid battles. I've been leveling up my Pokemon up to level 100 and all that. However, the key thing to note about that is that is my secondary team. My main team, the one we ended things off for the last part, is still at the same level it once was before. So it is not going to be OP blast through the entire game. No, we're going to challenge ourselves in the main storyline. But when I want to have some fun doing raid battles, of course I want to be on equal levels compared to everybody here so we can have a good challenge in capturing Pokemon, So
indeed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, my main team, minus Scorbunny, because he's not involved no more, is still going to be the same way it is. And yeah, we're not going to go the Let's Go route. That's a one-of-a-kind thing. I don't want to replicate it again.
Thank God.
yeah, we can't replicate something again. That's just going to be repetitive. We got to do something a little different, okay? And it's only fair for us to do it here with Galar. And I'm curious to see what else I can do in this game that I couldn't do in past ones, so we'll find out soon enough tomorrow in our playthrough of the Pokemon Shield session. So I hope you guys will join us then. It's going to be a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with the first session already as is. And I really want you guys to understand, at least just to give a brief opinion on what I think of Pokemon so far. I spent 18 of those 20 hours literally in the Pokemon, the whole area park, whatever it's called.
The wild area.
The wild area.
Yeah.
18 hours I've spent in that park, man. And
he's had to go through without a bike, without anything to go fast or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I have to say, I give him lots of credit for doing that.
It's so fun, and the only reason why it's so fun is because of who I'm with. When I hang out with friends and hear, family and all that, we have a good time, and it is so fun to
I don't understand.
Okay.
And be honest, I don't understand why people are shitting on this game when the fucking online, the raid battles are one of the best things that they fucking did with the whole series.
Well, those are probably the people who haven't even bought the game.
Especially if you communicate with your friends. Oh my God.
Yes.
It is so great. Now, another thing I will say as well, and I'm pretty confident other people can say this as well, this is the first time in a very long time in a Pokemon series I've lost. You know what I mean?
In what way?
Raid battles.
What do you mean?
You can lose in raid battles.
Well, yeah.
I've never lost in Pokemon battles of any sort before. This is the first time I've ever lost to a Pokemon battle like this because it is so complex. You really have to coordinate with your group.
I mean, there was one instance.
But it's good though.
Yeah, there was one instance where it took us 7 attempts to get a 5-star Hitmonchan.
Yeah.
7.
Really?
We got lucky with that because of stupid mud slap.
Yeah, man.
I got mine on the first try.
Yeah,
7 attempts.
Yeah.
Like TSS mentioned before, this game is not afraid to kick your ass, and of course these raid battles. I've been hearing things about it.
They're really fun.
They're really fun, but at the same time
really
challenging.
Tough.
The
4 and 5-star ones are really fucking tough.
Which also
but they're
adds
very
to the fun.
rewarding at the end.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so overall, a fun experience, man. If you do it with your friends or family, you will get a good time with it because you have to coordinate with each other. You have to work together, know who's going first, what's going next, and survive.
It's not simple strategy. Unlike regular Pokemon battles, you really had to plan things out this time around.
Yeah, because you can actually lose. I mean, sure, you'll still get the opportunity to retry that said raid battle again.
And if you lose, you look like Go right there.
Yeah, basically it's like
Yikes, dude.
Oh, shit. When you realize you're the one responsible for losing the whole thing. That's the face right there.
It's like the face of a person who fucked up miserably.
Yeah, indeed, man.
Disgraceful.
It reminds me of or that face when you see your friend decides to use the Dynamax form on a Magikarp, pretty much how it is, against the Charizard, which I did see somebody do. So, server maintenance is starting up for Sword and Shield right now, apparently, so.
Good. good. That's literally the thing I said needed to be
I
worked
feel like
on.
they're gonna patch out a certain thing that I'm so sad I didn't get to try out. But whatever, that's fine. As long as nobody else can do it no more, then that's good with me too. Okay. But yeah, so we'll look forward to more shenanigans. Please, folks, if you haven't yet, make sure to follow us here on this channel to be notified when we're going to be doing a stream. Of course, tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like usual, we're going to be doing our Pokemon Shield playthrough, so look forward to that. Make sure to go follow these guys as well over in the Twitter accounts, which will be provided in the description or in the friend segment down below. So make sure to go follow them there. And look forward to another weekly session of the pod next week where we're going to continue our adventures into the Pokemon anime series, as well as some other things as well. We don't know what's going to come throughout this week. We'll probably figure it out by the end of this week. So until then, folks, I want to thank everybody once again for being with us here tonight. Thank you guys so much. And I guess we will talk with all of you guys later in whatever video we make. Take care, everybody. And as always, have an awesome day.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Jesus
Bye,
was right.
short-
Jesus was rice.
Was right.
No.
Why can't you catch up?